Great hat trick from Taz.
He flashes in and casts the ultimate. Lina, you want any help? Oh no, she will flash. The shield clutch.
Oh, a blink into all those units. The amazing defense. Champion of the Intel Extreme Masters.
Hey guys, what's up? Rivington III here, hanging out IEM Comic-Con here in New York City. You guys having a good time right now? That's what I like to hear. I'm joined up here on stage by SK esl-tv and CLG Hotshot GG. You guys enjoying yourselves this weekend?
Yeah, a lot. New York rocks, actually. I was never here. It fucking rocks. Oop.
Yeah, I've been having some fun. We had a fun party last night and lots of stuff happened, so.
All right, we'll leave that one at that. So you guys have made it out of Group 1, or Day 1, Day 2, Group A, Group B. You know, how are you feeling right now? How do you feel going up against CLG?
I think overall they have more, better awards. They are a better team. So the only thing we can do from this match is learning, and maybe if we have a good matchup, we can even win.
All right, how do you guys feel being the last North American team in the tournament?
Well, we want to bring it back for North America. We haven't done well this tournament, so hopefully we can bring it back and get a first place victory, but we'll see. SK is a tough team. We've always, it's always been close playing them, so we'll see how it goes.
Do you guys have any focuses you're really going into on this game, things you know you're already going to do and counter and try to hit on CLG?
Well, I don't know. The thing is that the best player overall of CLG, I think, is Hotshot overall, because he makes us be under pressure all the time. All right. So maybe we have to try to outban him, or I don't know. We don't know yet. We talk about everything, but you know, until the Pixelban's phase arrives, we don't know what to do. He's just, yeah, he is too good, and we have to outban him somehow.
Who are you guys watching for SK? There's going to be a lot going on with the picks and bans. Is there anything in your mind that just sticks out?
Well, there's one thing that sticks out that that SK does, is that they always have a strong AP carry, and esl-tv does that well too. It seems like we're going back and forth, but that's honestly how we think and how we feel. So, yeah.
Right on. So you guys are putting a little something on this. One of you is going to have to buy dinner if you lose. Who's buying dinner?
The loser, I guess.
You know, either way, I don't know about dinner, but I'll buy drinks.
All right, guys, we're going to have this game going on in just a few minutes. We're going to hit you with a quick commercial break. CLG and SK to get themselves set up. Stay tuned for this next game.
And he goes jumping in. Amazing round. Great hat trick from Taz.
He flashes in and casts the ultimate. Lina, you want any help? Oh no, she will flash. The shield clutch.
Oh, a blink into all those units. The amazing defense. Champion of the Intel Extreme Masters.
Hey everybody, Rivington running faster than light from the stage back there. You can see him now on the big screen as well. But he has made it back to the commentary booth, kicked out Joe Miller. He was like, okay.
Taking your spot, Joe. But Joe will be back up here as well again. So.
Yeah, of course. So, the players are in the game actually, and
all right.
I'm ready to go. Are you ready to go?
It looks like I am. Joe was all set up.
Awesome, yeah. So
I like it.
And the seat's nice and warm for you.
Yes.
It feels kind of British in here.
Actually, it has holes in it, so it aired out quite quickly.
That's really cool, yeah.
Yes. Exciting.
Are you feeling British right now?
No.
Okay. That's fair. I mean, I was curious because, you know, you kind of kept the spot warm. You never know. But let's see. We are ready. The players are in. They're talking to each other a little bit, so a lot of them are sitting down. I think they're getting, making sure that that Hotshot, etc., they're all there and ready to go. But so SK versus CLG. SK is the blue team. They have the first pick and the first ban for this one.
Yep.
Who you liking for this game?
CLG.
Really?
I'm gonna have to stick with it, man. You know, they're coming out of this. I believe that SK is the stronger team coming into this match, no doubt about it. The European teams just show so much stronger, and you know, as they say, and I've said it before, Dignitas is our team that's a few steps ahead. You know, we've seen them fall out of this tournament. You know, SK and the Euro teams always are that step ahead. Fnatic's been able to come out very strong this weekend. Cypher showing very strong as well, unfortunately being taken out. But, you know, I think SK is really going to give CLG a run for the money.
Okay. Well, I know that last time these teams met at IEM China just 2 weeks ago, CLG did win.
They did,
So,
yes.
so they took them out in a very, very similar semifinal very recently. But, I agree that I think SK might be the stronger team, although, I keep saying that, but CLG kind of just shows up and says, hey, by the way, guys, we're here to win.
Yeah, I've said CLG is one of those teams that you see them in a best out of 3, and it'll be, a 28, 30-minute first game for them, and it's just like, what happened there? And then they come out of the second game, they bring it to 50 minutes, but the whole time it's in their control. They keep the flow of the game going, and it's just the other team trying to defend and turtle up. And it really, CLG just needs to bring that out in the first game, obviously. It's something that they usually don't do, so we'll have to see if they can, really pop up to that caliber here.
Yeah, and another thing to point out also is CLG and SK, yeah, they're saying, like, are you guys ready for sure? And go. Okay, cool. So we said yes and go, so I think it's going to be all right. But, CLG and SK have actually met a lot just in general. The organizations have done battle many times. The WCG Grand Finals last year were CLG versus SK, and CLG dropped game 1 and won the next 2. They met at IEM China 2 weeks ago, and CLG dropped 1 and then won the next 2. Yep. And so at the very least, I expect SK to win game 1, because that seems to be the story here. The other story I heard, aside from CLG losing the first game and then learning from their mistakes, is that SK loves to win game 1 and then choke. Like I've heard that story on both sides, where it's like some people say CLG, likes to sort of learn from their mistakes and carry, and some like to say that CLG likes, or that SK likes to choke. So we're going to hope that, in a tournament semifinal, one would not choke. And, we'd hope that they do well. So we will see if that's the case. But Udyr and Cassiopeia, early bans so far. CLG, very much afraid. Very much afraid of Ocelot.
Yeah, it looks like you're going to have that Udyr, Cass, Galio going down. They do not want that hotshot GG on Galio.
Yep, first one aimed at St. Vicious, second one aimed at hotshot.
Yep.
We're going to see if they trust the Needly or not. Maybe SK thinks they'll do well against a poke comp. Maybe they can pick out the supporting lineup to that. But we'll see. Needly, an obvious hotshot aimed ban. And there's the ban against Kog'Maw, very much known to be dominating this tournament pretty much. I think Kog'Maw has a very high win rate here. We'll see if that ends up panning out for them.
Does he have a loss?
He probably does at some point.
Maybe one, but yeah, the win rate is very good. If you really take that in consideration, what champions have really been used, banned out this weekend, and sometimes neglected. We've seen Caitlyn banned out in a lot of games, and then she's not even a focus of the game. It seems like she actually may not be here, and she may be one of the picks since Kog'Maw's out. There's Nocturne again, 2 of the top-tier junglers out of the game right now. We still have GP, we still have a Mumu. We can get back into this one with those.
I'm surprised to not see Mumu in this tournament.
Still have the Trundle. Yeah.
I am actually, just because we saw him so much like in the Season 1 championships, and then he hasn't even been changed at all since, and just suddenly stopped getting picked, despite Nunu going away. But it seems like with the advent of the Bruiser top being the real big thing there, they're just not sort of worrying about it. So, well, the Bruiser going to get beefy, and we have these Bruiser jugglers as well. And the first pick is going to be Gangplank, despite this Talon ban. So they're really all about that Gangplank, super strong champion. And there's the Trundle. This is likely to be this this poke comp. Trundle is part of that poke comp right there. We're going to see if they leave Needly for the end. I don't think Wicked plays her, so they can kind of leave her for a while in this setup. And they're going to pick their supporting lineup here. Caitlyn might be part of that. Sona could be part of that. I'm not sure what solo mid's going to, what solo mid champion's going to complement that build. I want to make sure I get that one correct. It is the Caitlyn, nice. So I think they're really going for this composition here. We'll see if SK picks up a healer. No, there's the Needle. Yeah, okay.
Awesome.
Not really surprised. We hear ooze from the crowd, of course. But we'll see if SK. I mean, they've got to know about this, right? They've played CLG before so many times. They've seen how their games go. And they have to think they have something against this.
And that was a really, really good pick. They left Trundle out of that one because they see that Candy Panda has picked up Gangplank. Candy Panda is that AD carry, so we're going to see him most likely switching off of Gangplank. So you know what CLG said? We're going to get the AD carry we want, and we're going to give Hotshot GG Nidalee. We're totally safe with that. You're not going to pick another jungler.
Yeah, indeed. So we're going to see what, with all the supports available, though. I mean, Sona and... No, they're going to go for Taric and Tristana, so they want to go for an aggressive bottom lane. This is definitely an aggressive lane. You see, Taric with the early stun and the shatter. Tristana, very much an aggressive early laner because you jump in there with Rocket Jump. You hit the explosive shot as well. The healing debuff from that's going to make sort of counteracting that very difficult.
Yeah.
And we're going to see, Candy Panda, he's the AD, and he has Ignite. Right, he has Ignite, not Exhaust, again, for that damage output. The support is Sona. She can sustain but not burst heal. They are going to grab Trundle as well. This looks very much like they're definitely going for a poke composition. Very long range. They have that pillar as well. But SK could win that bottom lane, honestly. I was talking with the Skyart from from Cypher. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I got it. It's like the pause, Urgot. Yeah, I'll get it eventually. But, we're talking about, who's going to win. And I thought SK had it, but I think, just, in terms of individual player skill, I think Hotshot GG will outlane Wicked, although they were saying, Nidalee not the best laner, and so Wicked can punish, and Aurelia's not banned, so you might see him play really confidently here. Of course, both these players do know their champions in and out, so we'll see what they do with this. But, I thought that the bottom lane and the mid lane would be able to go towards the SK lineup. And, yep, there is Aurelia and Kassadin coming through. And that could work very well, but it depends what the anti-lane is, because Kassadin really beats a lot of mages, but there's a lot of mages that beat Kassadin.
Brand or Gragas would be very nice for the CLG right now.
Morgana would work well, too.
Morgana, well, yeah, she hasn't even been banned out.
You jump in, she's going to ult, and that's going to be scary. That said, you have the assassination here. You've got every single person on this team can kind of jump at someone in some way. At the very least, it's Candy Panda with the parlay.
It would be a great pick for range is Orianna.
Well, ooh, you are absolutely right. And
Orianna would be an awesome pick right now for CLG.
We've not seen her in this tournament, although she's a little bit of a scary lane against Kassadin. It's a little bit difficult there. He can kind of poke around her, but she can auto-attack. And get a little bit of damage dealt back there. I do like this lineup here from SK. I think this is going to work quite successfully. Hello, Nikasor. Quick Swarmer. Yeah, I like this lineup from SK, honestly, quite a lot. It's again, the triple melee setup. Actually, quadruple melee setup. Only Tristana's in the back row. But, of course, being a poke team, that doesn't really matter. But I feel like with so many melees there, they're going to be kind of towards the front, and they're going to face tank some javelins. And that might be scary for them.
Hotshot GG so scary with those javelins throughout the entire game, and it becomes even more detrimental as they push down and he can start hiding in your jungle and you just see spears come out of nowhere. You know what? They usually hit, and they hit really hard. Still taking all the time that they have to make this last pick, CLG discussing amongst themselves really what composition they want in there. Morgana. They do choose Morgana, the safest of the picks that they have. They are going to get that Dark Binding as well as an AP shield, and her AoE effect can really just deter movement of the other team. The ultimate really facilitating a lot of kills here. It's going to be nice to have a Crescendo and Morgana ultimate as well.
Yeah, this could be extremely strong here. They do have good AoE crowd control here. Actually, they're pretty much just heavy AoE. I mean, they, of course, have Caitlyn for single target DPS, but, when Nidalee is in Cougar form, almost all of her hits are going to be multi-target. The Morgana ult, of course, her biggest influence there, multi-target. Sona, even when she does go offense, her Q's going to hit 2 different people. The ultimate's AoE as well. Everyone here kind of going to be spreading their damage out a little bit, and with a giant melee meat wall, that's not too bad for SK. I think their ability to jump on one champion is significant. Black Shield's going to be very clutch here if they can get those. I see basically 2 main factors here that CLG has to get right. One, if that Morgana can get the Black Shields on the right targets and counter that burst damage that SK has, that's going to be huge. The other one is, can St. Vicious get beefy enough to withstand a lot of melee burst? Because it's going to have Wicked jump on with Ignite. You're going to have, again, the entire SK lineup can jump on you and can stun you and silence you and stun you again and slow you again, reduce your healing about 7 different ways, and that's going to be a really big problem for them if they don't find a way to counter this. And, with this lineup, they have the healer from Taric, they have the Gangplank ult, they have Kassadin jumping around, casting out Force Pulses, they have the Tristana Rocket Jump, again, another AoE slow, Wicked with Blade Surge. I mean, they can really jump you and make you pay for this if you get out of position. And, only so many have escapes. Morgana just with Black Shield. Caitlyn can escape, and Nidalee can escape, but Trundle's going to be there as a melee. The only melee they have as well, unless you count Cougar form. Sona, again, also able to be picked off, and Kassadin, I think, really good against Sona because he can kind of maneuver into the back lines and really burst that champion down. And unless you can hit, a max rank area of Perseverance, give herself that 40 MR and then about 100 health to sustain that, she could get blown up pretty quickly. So there's a lot of really cool things happening here, and this is just kind of a mesh. Kind of a mashing of lineups here where CLG wants to play super safe and SK wants to play super aggressive. And it's really going to be up to player skill at this point. The lane's going to be a big deal. If one team can get ahead, they can dominate the game because poke doesn't work when your pokes don't hurt.
Yeah.
And
makes sense.
Yeah, kind of a big deal. But at the same time, if you're ahead and if their burst damage can't crush you, all you're going to do is get poked to death.
Yeah, and you know what Ocelot said in the beginning of that interview on stage we just had with him and Hotshot GG is that they want to make sure they can focus on Hotshot. He is one that puts pressure on him a lot, and they have an exact team that can do that. Even from across the map, if they need Snoop's help, they can go ahead and get the ulti from that. You see SK getting ready for the match here against CLG. I'm going to go ahead and just say that's Candy Panda with the panda hat on.
I mean, that might make sense. I don't know.
There you go, Ocelot shaking it up, saying, let's do this. They are getting ready. We're about to have this match underway, 30 seconds, and the spectator will reel in for us, and we'll be able to get you this match live here from New York at IEM. If you guys want to see SK bring it home for Europe in this game, they have to win this best out of 3. Let's hear some noise. So the last North American team, CLG, to take it home if they can take this onto the next day and stay in the tournament. Let's hear it for CLG.
That one got heard on stream.
All right, so we are seeing that CLG is the favorite here on this game of SK versus CLG. We're going to be underway on Summoner's Rift in just a few seconds.
Yep, 3, 2, 1 on the spectator delay, and we're going to go into the load screen of the second semifinal, CLG Logic Gaming versus SK Gaming, North America versus Europe. And, you know, this is going to be an extremely good series. These are two very storied teams, very long-term teams. They've been in the scene for a long time. These players are no strangers to the main stage. And it's Gangplank not wearing a skin and making me cry a single tear here. But SK does have the fashion advantage here, so I gotta lend them this game one. Looks good for them.
Yeah, they're doing real good.
They're doing real good. Thank you. I couldn't say anything but just repeat you.
Yes.
They're going to follow Candy Panda out of the base. That is a Tristana with Flash Ignite. Instant learns actually the explosive shot. There you go. 110 damage, actually. Very significant amount of damage. Rank 1 of that skill. Let's see what else we got going on. So Candy Panda has learned an ability already. We follow Tarek out of the base. He's actually not learned an ability yet, but has 3 wards in the inventory. Also not learning anything yet either, but boots and potions. Snoop already ranking Parlay, and actually a pause. I think one of them, so we saw this actually in the first game of the last series, where the Caitlyn player didn't have his summoner spells bound to what he liked. So I think these are players, even though they had gotten here a couple hours ago and had started setting up, I guess they want to make sure that their binds are proper. They're going to make sure that they are okay with this. So milling about, you can see them sort of staring intently at their screens, and I don't see Furious clicking yet from them, but I guess they haven't really had minions spawn, so shouldn't be too far behind. We see teams talking in the background. The Volunteer National ESL admins are back there. We see guys in their fashionable SK Gaming shirts. And we do see them moving about, so of course you can see from here, St. Vicious starting to jungle, and the game, of course, won't be too far behind. Sorry, Nif had troubles at Ocelot, so indeed. I'm predicting, by the way, that Trundle is going to start at Golems. I'm predicting that, and he's going to take them without getting ganked. I'm just, we're a minute away from that, but I'm calling it now. I think it's going to be the case. Yeah, and someone had reset his keybinds and did says needily, so NP. And now your chat is hidden. Element's not getting caught. He does clairvoyance for himself. We did see that actually in the finals against World Elite. He kind of face checked some brush and got caught, but learned his lesson. Clairvoyance before he puts the ward down. And now, of course, CLG can see these ingresses. They have a Caitlyn trap right down there. They have this ward fashionably placed. Sees Snoop, you're going to see CLG. Sees him dancing around. SK with almost no map vision, though, but they will not invade, so they're going to be all right. And again, they're actually changing the lineups. Look at this. They've got Chowster solo mid, CLG constantly moving around, and they've got Needly was bot, but she's recalling going top instead, so I'm actually not sure. No, Chowster's running down. Maybe they were trying to fake it out. Maybe they got clairvoyance, but they're going to send a completely standard lineup here. Sona, Caitlyn bottom, Morgana mid. Trundle is jungling on the golems.
Yeah, quite a safe jungle for both teams right there in the beginning. Looks like they are going to start getting into the laning phase here. Morgana, it's going to be Big Fat GG versus Ocelot in mid. Already going for a little bit of harass there. It says get away from the minions. And bottom lane is going to be that Nif, Candy Panda, and Tarek and Tristana against Chowster and Elements and Sona. And Caitlyn, again, that top lane is going to be Aurelia versus Hotshot GG, and that's the person SK is focusing on. Ocelot told us in the interview there's going to be a lot of action in that top lane, most likely as we do see Saint coming out of the jungle to help, as well as to thwart that, because he was also listening to the interview. But we'll see Snoopy trying to get up there quite a bit. Great job by Big Fat, pushing Ocelot back to his tower, trying to negate that creep.
Yeah, this is actually exactly the right play here. There's some lanes that you just want to push because they can't deal with it. Backstage before the games, I was watching Hotshot play a solo queue game to warm up, and he was facing against a Yorick solo top as Singed. And I was like, so how are you going to beat Yorick? Because he sustains way better, and Singe's like early laning is not that strong. He's like, oh, I'm just going to push the turret, because Yorick can't really handle a turret push early on. And he actually out-leveled them and actually went like 5-0 that game, and I was like, oh. So some champions just like their best laning is just AFK push because the champion can't handle it, and you're going to watch Ocelot's minion farm not do so well. And of course, especially Morgana, very, very safe. St. Vincent has grabbed blue buff already, is level 3. He's going to recall here. Lizard's still available, going to grab that and go for a gank soon, I think.
Snoopy coming out.
There's aggression coming on already. Big Fat GG has flash, and wow, the damage upload is massive. First blood already grabbed by Snoopy, and that's of course what happens if you do manage to push too much. And oh, that's kind of unfortunate. He didn't learn Black Shield. He went 2 in Tormented Soil, 1 in Dark Binding, and he couldn't block the slows. That's actually extremely unfortunate for him, but a great gank from SK, already grabbing first blood. And Hotshot actually getting harassed down by Wicked pretty successfully, but he's got a nice mana bar there. He's going to be all right. Jumped in again. Wicked pressing aggressively. Down to 200 health there. Nice play by Wicked so far. It's played a good game here. 2 points in T10 style, 1-1 in Q and E. And when those cooldowns come back up, you're pretty sure he's going to jump in on this one again.
A very nice job indeed. They just throw a CV down. They know Snoopy is going for red. And it looks like Elements has actually warded their blue. Very nice job there. He's going to go ahead and ward Tribush as well. A little bit more attack damage here from Wicked onto Hotshot. He knows he needs to stay back, and it looks like Wicked will back for his first item. Let's see how much gold he has in his hands, and he is going to have 734, probably some boost pots. He will get himself a ward so he can continue to farm that lane. Great job by Elements putting out all the wards necessary. They do see that Big Fat GG went down, so he's going to give him a ward for actually that cover on the back lane entry.
Yeah, it's a pretty smart choice. You can see just those null spheres coming out. Nice harass from Ocelot. Now, this costs 90 mana, and Black Shield is cheaper than that. I mean, theoretically, it's probably in her favor to, block 110 damage and basically neutralize those abilities for cheaper, realistically. Like, I would think that would be kind of the best play here. He's getting harassed on quite hard, has a full mana bar. St. Vincent coming by. Ocelot, of course, gonna get jumped on. I don't think he has flash anymore. Dark Binding, unfortunately, hits a minion. That would have been a guaranteed kill, but St. Vincent is not bursting quite hard enough because of that. Nice try there by GG. And again, some aggression from Wicked. Hotshot, first from level 5. That is very, very useful. Wicked not quite able to spam down on him just yet, but has that boots advantage. Hotshot already chugged through all of her potions. Or his potions, Needley's potions, whatever. Close enough. The potions belong to Needley. Hotshot is the player.
Bottom lane, not too much farming, or not too much harass going on, rather, as they are just farming. Not really having to worry about using the supports for heals, so they can use it for their other abilities. It looks like Saint is going to walk right into Snoopy here, contaminating the ground. Snoopy goes for Raise Morale. It's going to be a face-off as Morgana starts to come down. Will she be able to hit the Dark Binding? And it looks like Snoopy will fall in what he thought was his own fight. 2v1. Very nice rift by Ocelot, and just dodges the Dark Binding himself.
Yeah, very well played by CLG. Good comeback there. He had to rift walk to dodge that Dark Binding. There's a good lead by Big Fat. Actually, was smart enough to actually save the Dark Binding when they knew they had Gangplank anyway. That panned out quite well for them, and they're already going.
Hotshot teleporting in for this as well.
So smart by CLG. Of course, he was running Summoner Teleport at top, and look at that. Pushed the lane, said, hey guys, we got to kill. We can Dragon. And look, Wicked's just sitting there farming. Kassadin in there in mid. And the first Dragon goes to CLG. Going to respawn at 12:20. Great comeback here. They had that first blood go against them. That was a little bit scary. Could have set the pace for them, and CLG was like, no. We're the better team here. We know we can do this. And they're off to a great...
They are focusing this. Big Fat trying to act as a little bit of bait here, but Ocelot wants nothing of it. We are going to see Diddley coming around. Hotshot, can he make the throw? Oh, just not enough damage yet. Needs to level up that Q. Ocelot knowing he needs to walk himself back, though, but that's going to help. Now it's just going to be Big Fat in lane by himself for quite a bit of time, and he is going to soak up all that experience without anybody contesting it.
Taking the minions, making them die right there, and keeping the lane pushed up. They're going to go again aggressively. See Candy Panda, look at the minion farm, 55 to 53. The bottom lane is pretty much identical here between Candy Panda and Chowster, so no obvious advantage. Alex is going to jump in right there. Level 6, though, has the level advantage. Candy Panda dropped to half health. This is not good for him. Trying to run away. Chowster is going to flash in, flash out from Candy Panda. This is not looking happy. Another Q comes out. Nif almost low enough to drop. Q comes out there.
That's some range.
The ult, yeah, not enough mana to cast an ult anymore. 100 mana cost. And now they have lane control. That's going to be really, really good for CLG there. There comes Greaves and a lot of potions wards. Another Doran's Blade picked up. Philosopher's Stone already grabbed on Tarek. Sona has hers already, though.
Snoopy getting pretty hit up here. Getting his blue down. He's not really worried about it. Somebody came to him right now. He's waiting for it. There he goes, eating the orange out. And Big Fat GG is just going to stay in mid. Nobody's really making that move. They do have a ward right there, but I don't think that was the entry that Ocelot used to get over there. No, he went right towards that tower, so he will be able to get out safely with blue. That's going to be very nice for him. Morgana possibly getting that soon. Trundle does get blue a little bit later than Gangplank does, so that's going to be spawning in a little bit as they continue. Looks like Sona making a move here with to ward up on Wraith Camp. A little bit of a counter ward. Very nice job.
Yeah, but one disadvantage, it's a kind of minor disadvantage for CLG, is by being purple team, Hotshot being at top lane is so far from their blue buff, which means they can't easily donate a blue buff too neatly. Now, it's fine going on Morgana. That's perfectly acceptable. You know, makes a good use of all that mana and those cooldowns, but you typically see it go on neatly for those instant, you know, just constant javelin spams. And it's not going to be the case here unless they steal the blue buff or they take a lot of time kind of getting around the map. Wicked not actually hitting Hotshot with his spells. Missed quite a few of them there, but is building up towards a phage right now. Going to be pretty beefy, some nice damage output. Does have way more minions than Hotshot, of course. The Dragon is fine. They're up 800 gold because of that.
Oh, wow.
As far as minions go. Oh, but a gank
lots of focus on the bottom. Gangplank about 3 minions away from ulti, or getting his ulti, but it looks like he will just kind of move in, move out. Ocelot looking to go back mid. A thwarted attempt there. They just didn't push out far enough. They were really setting up for that. We'll have to get back to lane now. Ocelot forced to rift out of that dark binding. And Hotshot still continuing to farm top and push back Wicked here. It doesn't seem like Wicked can really put on the damage he was before. Hotshot has some pretty good sustain with his heal.
Hey, he's been ranking that up. There's the aggression from Wicked. A lot of damage. Ignite goes on as well. Still jumping in. Hotshot getting pretty much crushed, but he's got a catalyst, and he's going to start healing for 180 every 10 seconds or so, and he's going to get himself back up. Nice aggression from Wicked. Was close. Of course, Flash had already been used by him. Hotshot's still up. Knew he was safe, actually. That's just a smart play right there. You know how much damage that he can deal to you. Not burning your Flash preemptively.
What an early Oracles for Saint. Already warding on Wraith twice. And it looks like he's going to go around and clear out. CLG is really playing a mental game right now, staying strong, understanding that, you know, the things like vision and creep score is definitely going to be able to win them this game. And those little things will add up.
Yeah, but the gold advantage, though, despite all this, is actually dropping. They got that dragon kill. They are up 5, you know, it's worth 1,000 gold, but they're only up 500 gold. And it seems that, you know, the mechanical skill, especially the Wicked Hotshot lane, is going towards SK. They're getting ahead in gold, but, you know, Needley's going to get there eventually. She's not dying, of course. She's not giving away kills or anything, so she'll be in great shape. But you look at the, you know, the 81 minion kills versus the 80. The bottom lane is still equivalent. You look at the Irelia, though, 83 versus 62 is a significant advantage. The Kassadin 70 versus 79, not too far behind, but of course, good play by Big Fat, pushing that one around and actually giving himself a bit of a lead there. That's what you really want to see when you're CLG.
Sona returning to lane, only grabbing that Philo stone, so she's going to keep herself getting gold. Looks like we have a pickaxe on the side of Chowster. Could be going for that Infinity Edge with the early short damage instead of the BF sword if you really wanted to push off Tristana. But we do see the Candy Panda has not purchased really yet. Went for Doran's, but has 1,000. So he may be just trying to get that 600 gold really fast and get the BF sword he's looking for.
It's very likely to be the case. You see Needly getting jumped on again by Wicked. He could get the kill here, and the flash goes out. One more hit. No, he heals in time. Nice job by Hotshot getting out there, but Wicked definitely playing aggressively, doing a good job here. Unfortunately, his Ignite was down, so he couldn't pick up that kill, but he's playing a good game here, has that phage already. He's got the Magic Resist Cloak as well. That could be a Wit's End or Merc Treads.
It's such an advantage, especially to have against Nidalee, is to be able to stun him up, especially in her Cougar form.
Yep.
That's really when she's going to be able to burst you with that front end damage. Just such a nuke to be hit with when she pounces and claws. Yep. And you know, with Wicked able to just thwart that every time, walk away if he needs to in the situation, it just makes him such a more viable character against Nidalee. The heals are keeping Hotshot alive, but they're not keeping him in lane, and that's what he needs.
But we're 20 seconds from Dragon, by the way. Now, Hotshot's teleport is up. He did not use it to get back to lane, but Wicked already running down towards that. They know the Dragon timer on both sides. You can see all the teams are collecting for it. Morgana already heading down. Trundle has been sweeping wards for the last 30 seconds or so. Nif already on his way. Will not hit that trap. Now, there's not a lot of vision from these guys. They see no one on CLG, but likewise, CLG sees nothing. This is going to be a blind fight almost on both sides. They get Clairvoyance. SK should not initiate here. Trap's going down from CLG. That's smart. Wicked's actually going to initiate on the Dragon. This seems unsafe. CLG still waiting in the background. Wicked going to pull back here. They're all staying on the other side of the wall. CLG actually letting him get poked at. This is extremely smart here. They're out-sustaining, and again, this is their comp. They're poking, and by the way, Hotshot pushing top. They're buying time.
I've never seen Hotshot push top alone.
No, I've never seen that before.
Ever.
This is a unique strategy from CLG, but it's working quite well for them. And look at that. They set up behind the wall. They drop traps, and they're like, come at me, bro. We're going to win 4v4, and if you jump in, Hotshot's going to teleport. And that's such a great play by CLG. That patience was amazing because, hey, look, they got a free turret out of it. And, yep, there's the turret kill. And CLG said, all right, you got time, you got Dragon. DC. Don't care.
Very nice there. And Italy, not somebody you can leave on the turret. She's actually quite good at taking down turrets. Her attack speed and damage is it's not very high, but it's enough to be more than the average, and that's really not what you want to leave alone in the lane. They saw 150 gold going there. That dragon's still up, maybe 190 gold as well, and that would be a very nice increase. It's like Wicked and Hotshot kind of trading some damage there. Cassidon getting a quick null onto our Big Fat in mid. Everybody's just kind of really milling about, getting that creep score down, pushing the lanes. There's no real focus on Dragon after that fight. We'll have to see what they want to do about it.
Wicked's still doing well against Hotshot. The spam is off on both sides. Still chasing it. Ult goes off as well. Hotshot should survive this, but will get low. But thanks to Catalyst and Doran's wings, should have not a big problem sustaining himself back up. Going to be all right here. The bottom lane actually pretty good for SK. Candy Pad actually pushing in onto the turret. Does have 2 points in rapid fire now. By the way, with those Tristana players out there, 1 in E, max W, then start ranking Q. Seems to be the proper build here. Going pretty well for him. Ocelot, of course, maxing Q and E. And that 1 in W to give him that mana sustain.
Nope. Cassidon looks like Ocelot rifting out to go down, and we do see St. Vicious coming out. He throws up the Pillar of Filth, but nobody really gets hit by it. They're going to go ahead and back off of that and not get into the fight. Looks like Chauster needs to purchase. I'm going to go ahead and see how much money he has. He actually has 1,600, and that should... No, he stays in lane. Weird. We'll see what they do with this one. He does have enough for that BF sword. It could really help in the next fight, especially with taking down Dragon. But it looks like St. Vicious is going to do that himself.
Yeah, really good play by him. He's going to go for that right away. And Spidey Sense from SK says, hold up. They do force him back. The early Oracles has gotten them some nice advantages because they cannot keep St. Vicious down. He's already got the ward machine there with that Wriggles Lantern. He's able to solo Dragon whenever he wants. And by wearing Oracles, is making the ward game very, very hard for SK. Of course, Wicked losing his tower does not make that easy for him against CLG. You can see Hotshot, some really good harass there. Has a full mana bar again and is able to spam down Wicked pretty successfully. Spear comes out. Nice job there. Some damage coming out. Pretty happy, but you're going to see the aggression on that turret does work out for SK. They trade those turret kills. Still down 500 gold. That Taric ult being used with the 60-second cooldown gives the damage to his team. Says, let's take a turret with that. Javelin's coming out again. Wicked going to defend his turret some more, but
looks like they will be able to get Dragon here. Very nice. Hotshot is just creating such a diversion up top. They do not have Wicked, and a lot of damage that we're going to see from SK will come from Wicked in these fights. And Tristana's going to jump in, but Candy Pen has to be very careful because he's going to have to micro and move while he attacks. He's a lot squishier than Wicked. So you'll see Wicked diving in initially, really with the help of Cassidon, get a silence on somebody, that GP ulti. So if Hotshot can keep Wicked up there the entire time, these fights are always going to go in CLG's favor.
And here Wicked's going to see Hotshot. Yeah, he was going to try to solo that golem. We talked about that a little bit. Okay, they have Cassidon here as well. Spear comes out. Ooh, that was almost hitting. Wicked's going to stay on this. Ocelot's going to try to last hit. He will get that. Yeah, they could potentially chase Hotshot with the abilities there. They could try to slow and stun, but they will not do that. He will recall instead. Looks like a Rod of Age is going to be his pickup here. Sneepa holding mid against Big Fat LP as he's going to wait for Cassidon to come back. Great jumping from Saint. Already level 9, doing a good job here. Has 73 minions against the 64 of Sneepa. That's going quite well for CLG. They're up 1,400 gold, all that from the Dragon attempts. Turrets have equalized, kills have equalized, minion farm pretty close as well.
Yeah, they're doing quite good. 1.7k is the difference. 1.9 as CLG continues to farm up pretty hard. You can actually just see it accruing a lot faster than SK's. Dark Binding coming out. Sure, it just hit a minion, took it down.
Yep.
Looks like Tara coming down a little slow here. And they know he's there. The ward is there as well. Let's see St. Vicious real quick. Does he still have his Oracle? Yes, he does. But he is not doing too much clearing. Still early to be doing that much roaming. But we'll see. He wants to do something here.
Let's see if they do. Hotshot still pushing top. Yeah, the mid matchup is back here. There's the Black Shield. Could be an aggressive. St. Vicious still milling about. Not quite going in for it, though. Level 10 to Gangplank 9. And there's the Gangplank ultimate.
Oh, wow. Cassidon in the river coming up on Hotshot. Hotshot's going to be able to do that pounce. Hop over the walls. Looks like he's going to get out of this one safe. They're still going to try to harass a little bit. Oh, wow. So much front-end damage. Hotshot will not be able to survive that one. And Ocelot playing very strong and knowing the competence of his Cassidon at level 12 absolutely made quick work of Hotshot under his own tower.
That was such a great read, too. It was like, okay, go ult him now because Cassidon will make it in time. And I want to give props to Ocelot for doing another thing really smart. He came up here and flashed over the wall because he knew his Rift Walk would get into range. and use that damage to help him get the kill. Exceptionally smart play. You can see he has the Rod of Ages and the Sorcerer Shoes. Giving him that kill, the Magic Pen was, of course, extremely useful there. Getting hasted by Gangplank, running towards bottom because CLG is pushing there. And Nif, of course, got very low from a gank there, and the push in from Trundle. But Cassidon's here, and he's good to go. He's going to find someone. The CV is down. They see them come in. Shafter gets a silence. He's going to get slowed as well, and Stupa is in range. There's the jump in from Tristana. A great dance from Sona, but will it be enough? Nope, won't be. But you thought the Caitlyn was alive. Nope, Chuck Testa. And now Sona getting a jump out of flashes just out of range of the rocket jump. Going to survive that one just barely, but a nice move from SK. That roaming Cassidon got them 2 kills now. But hey, you know, you push, we kill turrets. Actually not a bad trade from CLG, then getting the turret out of that from mid.
Yeah, it's really good focus. CLG and SK both keeping their head in this game. If they know they're losing something, they got to get something else back. They've been doing it every time. There was a dragon. They took a turret. And wow, being jumped on. Big Fat did put up the shield, but there's a lot of damage, and Wicked chases. Not enough mana, though. And very nice by Big Fat. He will be able to save himself easily with his ultimate. That would have stunned up both Wicked and Ocelot. Yep. But they were deterred by that. Like I said, 0 mana. Ocelot also quite low on mana. Yeah, he did burn his flash to do that, though. That's going to be a danger there. And so now he's going to be a little bit unsafe. Only 1 rank in that black shield, but we'll see if that ends up panning out for him. Could block just enough slows. Galen trying to defend this turret, but they're pressing on aggressively. Tarek again with an ultimate, giving his team a lot of damage here, and they're just pressing so aggressively. That turret does go down 2-2 on turrets. SK making that one happen. And of course, solo top, just Hotshot getting farmed up. He's getting way up there, 149. His whole team is last hitting quite well, actually, but Candy Panda, 172, and that is the goal of Tristana, by the way, is to be the beefiest, most BA range carry in the game. 700-something range at the end of that. Has the Infinity Edge by 20 minutes. That is not bad at all. No slouch on the gold income. And he's going to be a big force for this team. He will be supported by Tarek and by Gangplank, and that'll be really good for him. But he's going to really hope that his team can be disruptive because he's going to want to get those auto attacks out. And he's going to want to try to melt melees. I love this every time. Hotshot goes back to buy, and he doesn't even think about it. He's like, I think I'll go top lane again. There's minions there. Just continuing to farm the entire game. 149 for him, 160 and 172 is the highest right now on Tristana for SK. So he needs to do some work for himself. He wants to get back up there. Hasn't been getting too many kills in his favor. So he needs to make sure that he stays in the game if he is going to play that top lane aggression. Yep, you can see Nif finally buying in Oracles for himself, has gotten that. And, you know, despite all those kills that SK just got and that turret, CLG still up in gold by 800. Those dragons have really been carrying their weight. And, I mean, that is keeping CLG very much in the game. They're still very much in the lead as well. And because St. just bought the early Oracles and still has not died, it frees up Elements to actually diversify his build a little bit. He's able to buy a lot more wards here. They've had control of the map quite successfully. He's got 400 gold on himself right now. That might be a Mercury Treads. We're not quite sure what he's going to do with that. But Gangplank, of course, not able to push around neatly. Hotshot just able to free farm pretty much forever, wearing those Merc Treads. And let's see what he ends up doing here. 165, Javelin comes out, another free minion kill from that. And I see some pings going on. Oh, they're going to go for the blue buff. Yeah, SK's like, guys, we need to take this. And they're like, hey, by the way, they're near Dragon. You should probably be aware of that. With all of this movement, they're actually coming to the same exact spot. We see Morgana and Caitlyn kind of closing in on middle, pushing as much as they can. Trundle and Sona also coming up to the bottom here. They are gathering. There it is. Dragon has just spawned, and that is the reason they went for blue. They are going to have enough time to do a good amount of damage, but I don't think it'll be down by the time that SK gets there. It looks like they're pretty hesitant on attacking this, though. SK dodging that Dark Binding. It is going to be Dragon, but will they go for the kill? They got to be very careful. The line of sight is now broken with CLG, so they could be picked off one by one. Very nice job and confidence by CLG taking that and getting out alive. They're forcing SK just to go back to lane and farm what they can. And it looks like Snoop and Hotshot GG duking it out up top. Yeah, Snoop going to get some farm up. So that is that carry type jungler where you say, hey, I'm going to run around and actually get some gold. But Hotshot can really push him down. Look at the Snoop going down about half health, and he's staying on it. Realistically, Hotshot could kill him. Oh, wow. Turning around, he's getting pings from the team, and he actually has quite a bit of vision. Oh, no, that is a full blue minion wave. They do not have vision on him. I was going to say they're all within the creeps at least, but Hotshot doesn't like the vision that he had. Kind of backed off of that, and like you said, it definitely would have been a chase. No mana being used on those abilities from Hotshot while he's in that form. So it would have been quite easy for him. We see that CLG kind of prepping for the next fight to get back into the laning phase here. Caitlyn going around the backside to be safe. Chowster is going to return to that lane. And SK is still doing a really good job of pushing these lanes, though, even though the turrets are down. You know, you got little two groups here like Nif and Candy Panda as Tristana and Tarek down bottom. Again, you got Wicked and Ocelot in middle as Cassidy and Irelia. And now it looks like they're going to force into this one. They do see that Chouster's still there, and he didn't back. That last minion gave him enough vision for them to want to push into the jungle.
You're going to see Nearly jump around and still just farm top. Going to be the highest level in the game before too long. And looking over at SK, actually, yeah, 15 is the highest. And that's going to be really, really potent, of course. Hotshot's going to be a big force for this game. Is getting ahead, not making too many mistakes. Candy Panda, sorry about that, got a kill on Chouster. They dove the top right, help from Wicked as well. But now it's Hotshot getting chased on. The ult comes down. Ocelot's there as well. He's getting into the brush. He's been revealed. Nice flash there from Hotshot. Trying to get away still. Going rather quickly, but Ocelot not giving up the chase. Wicked has killed that one turret. They're pushing top right quite well, but it's a 2v1, which means CLG is going to catch up into a 2v1 as well. Stun doesn't matter because it's Black Shield. Tristana hitting pretty hard, but Wicked could go down here. One more hit from Saint. That's going to be a kill, and there is the stun coming out from Soda. And, oh, they have to flash out. The rocket jump did not make it over. They're trying to run.
I thought Candy Panda was done, jumped right into the wall and got... Oh, what an amazing pillar by Saint Vicious. Great job to pick up Candy Panda before he could get out, just before the rocket jump came back up off cooldown.
Yeah, excellent job. And then picked up the two main carries in Wicked and Candy Panda. The pings are off, and they're going to basically take map control from this. Now, they're down turrets now. They did get that turret kill picked up. They did get the one kill earlier on onto Chouster. He does have that Bloodthirster. That's been dropped off. Actually, interestingly, he went pickaxe and was like, actually, I'm going to go Bloodthirster anyway. So he had that damage for a little while, but went for that build. Now has an attack speed. And actually, they're going to jump in onto Elements, but Ocelot's been caught here. Slowed a lot. Elements getting lower. Tarek's going to land a stun, and they're going to actually back off on both sides. Elements down to 300 health and 0 mana actually is quite scary. They've cleared out some wards as well. And the ping is off on blue buff. And actually, this might have been a confluence of events that allows SK to actually take over the Golem. They're camping in the brush right now. They know what the plan is. Big Fat low on mana. No ult, no flash. But SK is not pressing in. I'm surprised at that, actually, that they didn't go for the steal there. Gangplank just taking solo top forever, and they're going to let him farm, and they're going to let Wicked kind of roam and try to pick up kills. I'm not sure if that's necessarily the best idea, but he's getting basically Frozen Mallet and Atma's Impaler. Kind of a different build there. We're not seeing the Trinity Force just yet. Or maybe ever. Yeah, that was a really passive blue, and since then, there's been a lot of focus just towards top. They've been walking top. Nobody even aggressed on that blue. They had vision on it. And Cassidy goes up. Looks like they do have a ward on Wraith, but that was placed quite a bit earlier. They're still going to focus on this, and it looks like they said before, they want to focus Hotshot. They're about to put 3 on that right now. A very nice rocket shooting out Hotshot GG from his turret, and he is going to be forced to be taken down. There it is, coming in with the null. And he is going to be picked up by Cassidy. Very nice. Ocelot is the one you really want to be farmed right now. Candy Panda couldn't have got in there. It's also one you would want to get a kill. But Ocelot just doing so much damage and playing, so accurately with his rifts and his flashes that is somebody you want on the map at all times. Yep. CLG counterattacking mid, that was a great choice here. We saw that before, but it's like, oh, it's a 4v5. Better take a turret. And, they're getting positioning for it, but looks like they're going to have to make them afraid. SK are moving back over, but CLG, of course, controlling quite well. Kaelin's going to get some of that farm at bottom, it seems likely, though they're staying around mid, actually. Maybe they're not going to do that. Wicked doing a decent job, getting himself some more gold, 196 minions. Not quite enough for Mallet just yet, but very deadly, 171 attack damage. And now, actually, CLG going for a steal on blue, potentially. They've cleared out some wards there, they put traps down. They're doing a wonderful job of getting rid of SK's vision. I mean, their ability to be map technicians is actually quite good.
Staying in the middle still, power and numbers, always making sure it's a group of 2, and you can see doing the same thing down bottom. Nif and Candy Panda kind of sticking together as that AD. Well, no, Nif's going to turn around. He notices that there's something middle. Wicked going to try to clear as many minions. Saint just throwing out a pillar. Very nice. That timing of the torrented soil and the pillar was amazing. It's like they knew they were both going to do it, and they put it in that choke point of the turret where you would have gotten stuck in the damage for at least 2 to 3 seconds. They are just second little nuances that these guys think of, and it happens instantly, and the reason they're winning a lot of these fights. And that's what I said. Once CLG pushes up to the second turret, Hotshot is going to sit in the jungle and just huff spears out as Nidalee. That's really what you'll see from a player. Right now they're trying to ultimate used by Wicked just to deter their minions and get these guys to back off.
Yep, and of course this Tarek is now maxing his heal, trying to get a sustain up because the CLG poked 2 healers. And a lot of long-range skill shots. Going to make this difficult for SK. We saw Ocelot jump in, try to harass down Hotshot. They did make them push off the turret, and Dragon has now respawned at 28 minutes. And this could be CLG pushing the wave and then immediately backing up and going for it. They do have that haste with Sona. They do have a lot of good tools to get themselves better positioning. And they're looking good for this. Immediately Spear, they are dodging them. So good job by SK dodging these Spears off. They're getting farmed, and they're pinging. Purple team has pinged for Dragon. They're going. And now they have that ward down that's been revealed. It's going to get dropped. But they know what's going on here. Lots of wards going down. Javelin will miss again. Got wards almost everywhere. And SK going to make it through, hit the trap, but they're going to reveal and kill another ward here. Cassian's kind of far. He's pushing the wave. SK, Wicked, kind of getting caught out here. Javelin to the face and a pillar. He's going to get jumped on right now. Charity Saint in front, but a nice pull back from Wicked.
Wow, they got CLG to split.
Yeah, they got him to split. And Cassian's going to come in on St. Vicious. They could jump on this one. Tristana's going for it. He's no crits just yet, but they hit pretty hard when he finally lands one. The big fat GG kind of alone. Tristana jumps in again. Black Shield. A perfect ult from Sona and Morgana. Wicked will fall, and actually Big Fat LP lives. But they're going to keep moving on. Will they get any more kills? Wicked does get the kill up on a Morgana. They traded 1 for 1. They're going to keep trying to go. Tristana jumps over the wall. Also has been caught, but he gets up to Caitlyn. Now onto Hotshot. He's been silenced. They're trying to jump in. Can they get the slow? Big St. Vitch is going to get caught. Now the heal comes out. He will drop down to Ocelot. They're jumping in again. Candy Panic coming in. Ocelot again. Another kill. Just will not give up this chase. Hotshot gets away, but oh my gosh, they cleaned up 3 kills on a chase. That was phenomenal from SK, and Ocelot, pretty much, I'm sure he's got a death cap when he goes back to base.
Absolutely amazing perseverance and pursuit of CLG in that fight. And right from the beginning, it looked really bad for CLG. They turned it around for a good few seconds, but there were just not enough of the abilities there when the crescendo happened from Elements for them to react on it. They had great positioning with Morgana, but when they split to the tri-bush and down the river, they lost a lot of the cooldowns that they needed in that fight.
Yeah, absolutely the case. You're absolutely right there. I mean, the double ults were so phenomenal, but the double ult had only 2 of them. You know, that split you talked about? Absolutely the case. They had literally perfect Morgana and Sona ults. Hit 4 champions. You can't expect to do better than that in a game.
Yeah.
Getting all 5 is like ludicrous, but obviously hilarious when it happens. But there was no one else. Caitlyn got separated. St. Vicious got separated as well. That Trundle, all their sort of DPS there was actually separated out. And yeah, they got the kill on Wicked. It was a great play by Big Fat. He got that kill up there, and it was a wonderful job. But they had no one to finish those kills out, and that was such a huge deal because then SK was like, yeah, we lost 1, but by the way, we have ignites like everywhere. Tristana refreshed her rocket jump, and I mean that built them a huge lead from that, and now they're up 4,000 gold. They got that dragon on the retreat. They of course got the inhibitor as well, and that's the thing is now that that's the bottom lane that's pushed, you know, SK can stay at the top half of the map, and with Dragon gone as well, they can stay at the top half, always be a Baron threat, always look to steal the enemy red. And those top 2 lanes, of course, are the ones that are able to be pushed now. And this is actually the best lane for SK to have taken. Yeah.
Tristana doing an amazing job right now. Candy Panda, 250 CS, Infinity Edge, and the Phantom Dancer. Their early purchase of the pickaxe looks like it hurt Chauster as he still went for a Bloodthirster and then into the Zeal. So he did not initially go for that Infinity Edge. Not enough money in the hands of the CLG right now, and they really need to pick it up. They are down 5.3K. to this SK team. SK really pulling it out here in the last few minutes. We're now at our 31-minute mark, 9-4. SK pushing very hard right now after CLG was doing what was really the flow of their game.
Yeah, they are definitely dominating the pace here, but SK did a great job jumping in there. Wicked not quite going to get caught, but Ocelot actually getting kind of owned by that turret there. It was a mistake to jump in like that. The turret goes down, and they're going to jump in onto St. Vicious, and Wicked going to take a lot of flack here.
They're going to get this minion wave out. Doesn't look like they want to push too far past that. They know they're getting out-poked in that situation. Wicked and Ocelot both quite hurt just from really not even fighting the other team. As you said, Ocelot kind of taking a turret. I thought he was going to do a little. He probably thought he was going to do a little bit more damage and feel all right about it. But you know, right now they have good vision with the minions that are going in, and they're going to try to bait a Baron here. No, maybe not. They changed their mind.
Can't jump across. Ocelot now in there, and they're going to go in and take the Golem. Really smart choice. I mean, they want to take those buffs first and then say, okay, if you are going to bait Golem, let's not leave Golem, like, if we're going to bait Baron, let's not leave Golem on the field. That's just silly. Ocelot's power level jumps to over 9,000 when he has that blue buff, and it was only 801 before, but now he's a very big threat.
They are moving out. Good invasion. They're kind of sticking with it, though. They do have Wicked. Let's see, Wicked, do you have... He does not have a Wriggles, but he does have a lot of damage, a lot of HP. He's going Emog's build. Or Atma, at least this point, does not have the Mogs. And we're going to see what they can do. It looks like they're just going to start backing out here. They know where they are. You can see the pings exactly going down. They're saying, stay in this bush. We need you. There's a ward here. And Menz comes back. They clear that one out, and it looks like they are going to start dancing around here until somebody can get that initiate on.
Yeah, indeed. They are towards the back line. Of course, they don't have a lot of ward coverage here. They finally put one down. They didn't see anything otherwise. And SK does not. Okay, now they start to see CLG, but they had not seen them for a while. It's actually pretty safe for them. They're going to recall a few, but again, SK's vision, they ping it. They kind of know, but yeah, there's a CV. They've spotted them. They've cleared some wards out. CLG has good ward coverage in their own jungle. They have having to be a little bit careful there. Sneepa will take that one down.
And they're coming right back for Baron.
Yep.
And they're going to say, it looks like Wicked has actually popped a red pot as well. That's going to give him some more attack damage, a little bit of HP. And they will begin it. They do have a little bit of vision from, I believe it's a CV. That's going to wear off, and they know that the entire team was running back. Do they have enough time to ring around the Rosie and get back? They're doing a lot of damage to Baron. This is going to be a lot of gold for SK and a huge buff, increase in health, damage, and mana. And here they are. They're going to be running with this one. They may make a final push here, or they may just go for these inhibitors. They do have one down already. They have free reign at split pushing all the way into the base, and they have really good minion waves all the way past River in each lane right now. They are set up for this game.
Yeah, they are in such wonderful places right now. They're winning 7,000 gold, and they're going to push through with this fresh Baron buff. They have a small minion wave here, and they're going in for it. Let's see what they can do. Wicked's kind of in front, and there's Morgana landing a great ultimate in there. A lot of damage coming out. Gangplank ults in there. Wicked's going to initiate, but gets stunned. Soda hits on many targets. Gangplank is the first one to fall. Goodbye SK, but they've traded back now,
wow.
And they're going to pick down, looks like 2 for 1, and now Panda jumps in. That's going to be a kill onto Morgana. Black Shield will not stop bullets. And now in, Soda gets crit and does drop down. Hotshot now on the turret. Can they do enough damage? Wicked is trying. Yes, Rift Walk. Giant amounts of Rift Walk damage. 4 stacked right there. And that is an inhibitor death, and that's going to be most likely the base. 5 dead for 2. The melees did take it up quite nicely. And the next is definitely going to fall in these next 20 seconds. The SK, as we kind of expected to win game 1, have done so. But they are known, CLG are known for taking the next 2 and learning from their mistakes. And this is not over yet. Game 1 going to SK in the second semifinals of the day. Congratulations to them.
Well, an amazing match. So back and forth at the beginning. It seemed like CLG had so much control. They really did try to shut down Hotshot more than once up top. Ocelot made it his point to do that. He said it on stage, and you know what? And then he took it into his own hands. An amazing Kassadin gameplay by Ocelot in that one.
Yeah.
And, wow.
Thoughts on a Kassadin ban next game?
Yeah.
Chances?
What are your thoughts, band? 7-0-4 for Ocelot. 12.5K accrued at 223 creep score. An amazing stack right there and very nice items. Rod of Ages and Rabadons, but he got it so fast. You know, you think, you know, where's the arc, where's something else, you know, a little bit more damage, but he had it so early, and he was such higher level than everybody else. Sona's Elements is level 12. Obviously, the support is less. We can see that Nif is 13 on the other team, and everybody's 18, but they had 15s, 2 of those, and a 17. So he's going to be doing more damage just right off the bat. He didn't want to go back to buy. He didn't have to, because he was doing the damage he could do, and he stayed in lane and shut down CLG from doing that.
Yeah, they did a really phenomenal job. And Candy Panda just going pure damage output. Farmed so much. Highest minions in the game. Highest gold in the game. Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer. Just damage output. Damage output. Dealing tons of it. And, you know, you just saw those team fights. It was like, you know, no, they would eventually stop CCing someone, and you just see, like, you know, Soda try to run, and it would be like, crit, dead. And you just see him kind of just mow down these targets in a row. And you normally don't see the carries, you know, outside of the champions like Kog'Maw. Everyone is always all about Kog'Maw and sort of Vayne as well. These like sort of hyper carries. But Tristana, with that range, is just poking at you, and you don't expect it in a lot of cases. But those cannonballs just blow up your face.
Yeah, and with that passive, it hurts so much. And then have the Infinity Edge, it just works. You have low health, guess what? This is going to hurt even more.
Oh, and it hurts a lot. And you know, just phenomenal play from them, of course. And, you know, CLG's going to have to learn the lesson for Game 2. But the game is up. We do see them actually in the game lobby. So I'm going to get myself up in there. This Game 2 is a do or die for CLG. And, you know, this is the second time they've now lost a game to a European team. That's a little bit scary for them. You joined as a player.
I want to be. That's because I want to play. But you know what? We're going to get you back into the action. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back here, discuss what's going to go on and what they may be thinking about for this second game. We'll be right back.
fourth stop of Season 6 of the Intel Extreme Masters will take place in one of the world's most advanced gaming centers, the Cybersport Arena in Kiev, Ukraine. It will be the first global challenge of the new year 2012, and it'll take place between January 19th till the 22nd. You can expect the best gamers in the world to face off head-to-head in our 3 disciplines: Counter-Strike 1.6, StarCraft 2, and of course League of Legends. Make sure you join us live in Kiev at the Cybersport Arena or here live on esl-tv.
What's the most amazing thing you ever saw? Was it something big or something small? Something old or something new? Or maybe, just maybe, it's something you haven't seen yet. The second generation of Intel Core processors. Stunning visuals, intelligent performance. This is Visibly Smart.
Counter-Strike Legends. Now stood united with BenQ. Make history again.
Phil, have you found opponents already? Phil? Phil! Do we have an opponents yet? Phil? Phil! You're not fantasizing about my girlfriend again, are you?
Boring! Are they penguins or are they sloths?
They want a show? We'll give them a show. Ready, Kowalski?
Roger that.
Operation Rico Star is afoot. Bingo.
Look at him go!
He's crack-a-lackin'. Mission accomplished. No more smiling and waving for us, boys. High fives all around.
When the second generation Intel Core i5 processor goes in, amazing visual performance comes out. That's Visibly Smart.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. We are here live in NYC Comic-Con for the IEM New York tournament, and we are in the second semifinal between SK Gaming and Counter Logic Gaming. SK up 1-0 so far. By the way, if you didn't know, this is Remington III. He's awesome.
How's it going, guys? I'm alongside Freak. Obviously, you know who Freak is.
That's
he
not
dances.
True. Well,
he
yeah,
does,
sometimes.
And he likes Timo and does this. I don't know what.
Yeah, dude,
right?
and Heimerdinger. Like, all Yordles basically are all awesome. I'm just fans of all Yordles.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But we do have, by the way, 5 members of SK in, 4 from CLG. Go when you're ready, VTW, because we have the spectators in, and we have 9 players in, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen in Game 2. Can CLG learn the lessons? They are just known as the comeback kings. They lose Game 1, and they win the rest, and they do it every time. So I'm really thinking this is the chance for them. They really can do this. The players are in. I think we're having an excellent show here, and I think SK learned, like, actually, we don't need to ban Needly because we can beat that poke comp, and they had been ready for it. But you're going to see that Kassadin ban, I'm almost certain. But they do have first pick, so maybe, Big Fat LP feels confident on Kassadin, but we'll see kind of how these picks pan out because there's going to be some interesting choices to be made here.
Yeah, very big match for CLG to keep themselves in this tournament right now. The last North American team fighting for North America. And we do have SK and Fnatic still in this tournament. Fnatic beating Cypher today, and they will be moving on to the finals tomorrow. Our second semifinal match of the day here, and our second match of this best out of 3. We are going to have another game between SK and CLG. CLG now to be first pick and ban.
And you can see that Talon has been banned out. Udyr been banned out back at them. These are 2 similar bans from last time, and Zillion wasn't banned, was it?
No.
Zillion went through the series, and
wasn't
CLG
even a
didn't want
thought,
it.
I guess.
Yeah, interesting kind of there, but CLG had a comp to play. It worked pretty well, but they couldn't quite land all of it. Interesting to see Cassiopeia banned. CLG is first pick, but I think there's so many good champions available between Cassiopeia, Kog'Maw, Morgana, that they're kind of afraid of what's still available, and they're going to ban out Cassiopeia. And I think they're going to try to bait Kog'Maw out into the open here. I'm expecting Kassadin ban here.
Yeah, I was going to say, if the Kassadin ban does not come up, it's going to be a replay of...
I'm surprised they banned Cog. Maybe they do want to first pick Kassadin.
I feel like this is going to be a Skara Akali IPL. They're going to allow them to choose Kassadin again, and he's going to be able to just go to any lane that he wants. There's so much movement with a Kassadin player to just dodge walls, and as you said, the first one, flash into Rift, into the attack, and hotshot under his tower. It's not something you want to let Ocelot do. He feels very comfortable with it. So we'll see what they do. Udyr is banned. That is St. Vicious's main jungle, but they do have a Nocturne, so we could go Nocturne or Trundle here. Like we said, we haven't seen too much of Mumu through this tournament, and Gangplank is also out. So.
Yep. Also, Kassadin does have counter lanes. One thing that happened, of course, is Morgana is a sort of a sit back and farm type champion, and that's what she did, and that means Kassadin has a very safe lane. Kassadin's kind of big difficulty is his laning kind of sucks, but like all assassins, if you kind of get an okay laning start, you're okay. It's kind of like Veigar. If Veigar sit backs and farms, Veigar won the lane. And so you might see that kind of thing. And indeed, it is Kassadin.
Wow,
so that is the grab.
So that's what they were doing. It didn't need to be a ban. This is another way you can do it, and you choose that character, so the other team cannot. Now they are forced, not really forced. Ocelot definitely plays more than just Kassadin, but they have to choose to not have that composition again this time. It was worked very well for them, a solid comp, and they have to create a new one now.
Yeah, and we're going to see, and they might go for an assassin-heavy build. Kassadin, I don't think it's just like a standard, like, let's first pick and just kind of put him in wherever in a tournament. I think it's there specifically to try to play a bit of a strat and to win certain situations. Nocturne and Taric are the grabs, so SK really in love with his Taric right now, wanting him as their support. That ultimate has helped them push turrets. His stun and he'll have helped them dominate lanes quite a bit. His aura is that giant armor buff, really helping a lot here. So this could be a really big deal to keep that Taric in play. Nocturne, of course, pretty heavy with Udyr and Gangplank gone, but Lee Sin is available, and I think St. Vic is going to be happy to play him.
Didn't even mention Lee Sin.
Going to be happy to play Lee Sin this match, I think, and I think that'll be quite powerful here. Yeah, Nocturne dropped in, Taric dropped in. Let's see what CLG goes for. There's a wide open range.
Yeah, it looks like they should be able to pick the characters they want here. There's really not too much countering to go on from this point out. They might grab something for Saint, however, and that's because Saint grabbed their big fat GG's pick.
I think CLG might be looking for a swap here, in the top bottom lane swap. Taric does make that 2v1 kind of difficult, but you have Hotshot. He's kind of really good at those. He's got a great Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath really can 1v2 quite successfully. Morgana's in there. Morgana can 1v2 successfully as well. But we'll kind of see how this pans out. We've got 2 melees so far from SK, the support and the jungler. CLG already got a melee in there as well. And they're taking their sweet time with these picks.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's such an open template here. There's really no obvious counters available. Like, you've got a jungler and a support picked that is a completely blank canvas. And again, they're going for Caitlyn. They feel like that safe carry is the choice here. And it is Cho'Gath. They are going to grab that big tank there, and they say, Needly's in there, but you know what? It didn't work last time. Let's do something else. And I like this a lot. They have a big meat wall there, and that's going to be hard to break through.
It's the Chase Cho'Gath technique.
Yeah, the Chase Cho'Gath technique. And he can outlane Irelia. He can ignore Irelia and just sustain this lane. Going to be much better than Needly, where Needly could get bursted down and chased out and had to sort of heal. But Cho'Gath going to be naturally a bit tankier, and he has a little bit better sustain as well, as long as he's not pushed out of lane. And he's actually going Flash Ignite as well, so he's going for an aggressive lane, wants to actually bully Wicked out. And Vayne going to be the grab, so with the same champions available, going Vayne instead of Tarek, even though they have kind of a blank slate here. Vayne instead of Tristana, even though you're facing assassins both in Cho'Gath and in Kassadin, but I think he figures, hey, well, if Kassadin dumps me, I can push him back. If Cho becomes a threat, I have Silver Bolts. This makes a lot of sense here. They do have 2 true damage champions here. Vayne and Aurelia, they potentially could cut through Hotshot, and we've seen that in the games. You know, CLG...
Yeah.
Yeah, they've won games because they have Hotshot sit there and bait damage for, like, ever. We're like, oh, you're doing Baron and we don't have a person alive. Hotshot, go waste 30 seconds. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Chase me forever.
Yeah.
When we saw that, too, the whole team was like, oh, he's at half. We could probably follow him. Oh, wait. The other 4 are bottom taking the inhibitor.
Exactly.
But this is going to be great for SK with the amount of aura that Tarek can give everybody's AD AP. That is a very dangerous team.
Yeah, this is definitely deadly. I mean, Nocturne's going to run around with like plus 80 damage out of nowhere. His Q gives him some, etc., etc.
Here, have this.
Yeah, right?
This is for you. Do you know what that reference is?
Actually, no. I laughed anyway because I figured it was a joke. And I didn't want to feel stupid, but now, of course, I do. Rammus. Okay. That wasn't even on purpose. I just said, okay, oh, Trundle, he's trolling me. Rammus would have been good, though. Could have got some ganks in there.
So, St. Vicious choosing not to go with Lee Sin.
Yep, it seems like Trundle is like the champion of the day for the last week, which makes so much sense.
Chat says his name on stage, and everybody wants to use Trundle.
Exactly.
7-second pillar.
Oh, my gosh. So, yeah, I mean, it's a half similar lineup here from CLG. They've got another sustained support, the jungle Trundle, the ranged Caitlyn. They've taken that Kassadin away from SK. But SK still has a lot of assassination. They've got Vayne, Aurelia, Nocturne. They still have that same sort of feeling of I can jump on you from kind of anywhere. Nocturne, Aurelia, and Gragas being picked up. Wow, they could really separate these champions out. I mean, you separate the Cho from anyone else. You can pin him against a wall. I mean, you don't really want to focus Cho, but it's possible. Wicked not running teleport, neither is Hotshot. So that's kind of a big deal to see. You know, if that pans out in a certain way where who has the better map awareness is going to show up in time and not going to have to face against those 5v4s. Certainly Hotshot going to be a good pusher there. The AoEs from Cho'Gath going to really help him out a lot. Gragas should have a good lane against Kassadin. Just like with the Morgana game, he can kind of bully him around, push him to the turret. Kassadin not the best lane farmer at a turret, but he's going to try, of course. And also, I did say he was playing some Gragas. He was training him a bit. Not his best champion, as he said, but could be strong. And Nivea, his favorite or his best, not good against Kassadin whatsoever. Those silences are going to break apart his ultimate and not going to be happy pants for him. Not even a strong lane either. But Gragas is a bully in the mage lane. He can push around this Kassadin. When Kassadin goes for last hit, he can drop those barrels there and say, oh, my minions are low? Barrels sit there. You go for last hit? Blow up. He's going to do that a lot. He's going to blow them up over and over, and that's going to be pretty much sad panda for Big Fat LP. So we'll see if Ocelot can dominate that lane. We do have 2 ignites on both sides. Looks like 1 exhaust. So actually mirrored summoner spells. We'll see how that pans out.
Yeah, they do have quite a bit of ignite. Yeah, 2 ignite, exhaust, flash. So it's going to be a big game here. We can see Team SK there getting ready for it. Candy Panda, second in line. Great. Ocelot in the middle, playing an amazing game for his team last time, getting his glasses all cleaned up so it can happen again. He is prepared. We got CLG on the other side. They are also waiting to play this game. We're going to have it going underway in just 40 seconds. These guys have amazing picks right now. It is, like you said, a little bit of a poke game / jump on you from SK. But we're going to have to see if CLG can stay on the outside. They do have that global heal from Elements. So one of the first times in this tournament we're going to see him taking Soraka.
Yeah, he's not a common Soraka player. He gets Sona almost all the time, and he does a great job with it. He lands amazing ultimates. He keeps Chowster up, and Chowster farms really, really well. I think this is the first time I've actually seen someone out-CS Chowster at that bottom lane, but we saw Candy Panda just eke ahead of him slightly by like 5 to 10% on minions. But, with Caitlyn having the safety, I'm not sure if Vayne's going to get enough heal from Tarek early on to last hit perfectly early in the game. I mean, Soraka's going to feed Caitlyn mana, and Halen's going to basically just Q spam and push that wave constantly. That's going to be a bit of a dangerous situation there.
That's what I love about a Soraka lane. It's just a mobile refueling station. You really don't have to do anything. The only time Soraka has to leave, get her gold per 10, and then come back to lane to just keep doing it.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, Vayne getting pushed to the turret is going to be difficult. Tarek can prime those minions a bit by hitting them, but you know, until Tumble gets a low cooldown, and of course no one's even been maxing Tumble from SK, or really any of the Vayne players really, you have those gaps where you're just not going to be, you're going to be in between attacks, it's not going to be low enough, and the turret's going to take those kills from you. And this could be some really good early game from CLG, there we go. You know, Hot Shot can just crush that top lane whenever Wicked goes to leave and help. And I think he's going to have to, because Chowster is going to be able to dominate this lane, I feel, especially early on. Now, certainly the late game does go to Vayne. Vayne just scales harder into the game, but she's shorter range, a little bit less safe, and she might get blown up by Cassidy. It just kind of depends on the magic resist and how well she gets babysat. But, you know, the ability for CLG to dominate each one of these lanes, I think all of these lanes can be advantageous. I think the jungle Trundle going to do a lot of good things. We'll probably be able to outfight Nocturne if they do 1v1 battles. The ganks are pretty similar. That Pillar is pretty close in power to that Fear Chain, but he's going to have so much burst damage with that auto attack, Q auto attack. He can really sort of do a lot of pain there. But we are in the load screen here. We see Santa Gragas come out from Ocelot, copying Shushe. And we are into the game, so I guess we need to know who the crowd favorites are. We had that come out, and it was like 90-1 of CLG fans in the audience. And Hotshot's making his way outside the base.
Looks like everybody's going straight out. They're going to cut into the jungle to the left. No, SK is going to go straight out. They are all going to mid lane here. Looks like they're going to go for the quick invasion right down the river. They are not going to head into their jungle. They're going to, oh no, they're going to stay right. Chowster, pretty dangerous. Hopefully staying on the left side of that. Going to go ahead and lay down a trap. Great skill to get for Caitlyn first. It's kind of just something you can easily do. Caitlyn's really not going to get that caliber net first. You want to be able to stun somebody. I mean, it can happen that you just want to slow them if the team already has some stuns up, but that is such a big advantage to have at level 1 and to just do free damage to someone. They are going to set up in the bottom tri-bush. Quite common. Oh, wow, Saint's there. Will they decide to move? And they are. Nif is going to be the first move onto this. Saint does maybe see him coming around the corner. The first dazzle is out. They're going to have a 5v1. Does he go down? The Ignite is on. And the first blood at 1 minute and 10 seconds into this game. SK already putting CLG on the back burner.
Yeah, and that was an excellent play right there. Although we saw from the last time when we saw Cypher against Fnatic, that early first blood against the jungler, you know, it was an early game advantage, but late game didn't really seem to pan out as a team with better coordination made that happen.
Wow, that was a team effort. Everybody got an assist on it, and Vayne with the kill. That is a really big increase.
That's the one person you want to get those kills too. Vayne's going to be happy to wear boots and an extra potion because of that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's just awesome. So useful.
SK, or CLG rather, definitely going to continue with that. It looks like Saint is going to go for top. They did not steal his golems, which he would be quite happy about when he gets there and finds out. But he is still going to start top. We got a little different path here, and he's going to get himself going.
Yeah, Saint doing a good job here. He's got a lot of damage on that, and it won't take too much as he kills this golem off. Nice bit of healing done as well. We'll see Big Fat versus Ocelot in mid is indeed the lane. Double melee mage. We'll see how this pans out. Both of them quite mobile as well. Ocelot gets silenced, and they're just last hitting against each other right now, but the harass should be coming before too long when the Doran's wings come up onto this Gragas. Aurelia versus Cho. So I think Hotshot feels confident. They're picking this Cho'Gath. Says, okay, look, I know how the Wicked plays. We just fought against him. I know what I can do to beat him. Give me Cho'Gath. I got this. Don't worry. Put this game in my backpack. We got this. Meanwhile,
looks
bottom
like
lane.
He's going to do pretty well. I'm trying to see what he will level second here. Oh, wow. Good damage coming out of the hands of Wicked. Nice. Nice hits there. Getting that true damage on. Heading down towards Gragas. Gragas goes for the body slam through. And oh, really? They CV'd so he could barrel steal the Wraiths and still thwart Saint's jungle. They're doing everything they can to negate him getting through that jungle as fast as he can.
Yep, he still does have 9. He only actually missed out, I think, one of the Wraiths there, but hey, it doesn't really hurt, right? I think he actually canceled level 3 by doing that. Yeah, actually kept him from getting level 3 right away. Not a big deal because he's going to get it off. He's going to get all the XP anyway.
Not too much harass down bottom. Both are just farming. Element's doing a great job at keeping Chowster and his mana up. Finally, Nocturne coming back. Snoop Egg going to go for his blue as his next cycle through the jungle, those little camps, and then the big camps. And we're going to see him possibly coming out in the lane quite soon. Looks like Ocelot is faring quite well against Big Fat here in mid. A little bit of low mana. Takes some good damage from the Q, but I think both of them are just going to be able to duke it out here. Great pushing by Big Fat to cause Ocelot to lose this farm.
Yep, absolutely the case here. And yep, back up onto the turret. Can he get the kills? He's missing a couple, actually. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. A couple got denied by that turret there. Very, very awesome stuff. And they're actually milling about. Looks like an early gank coming in onto Aurelia. She should have flash up. And here comes St. Vicious. Big Fat coming out around the back side. He doesn't know about this. Nocturne's coming from the jungle. Oh, she's playing aggressive, and there they go. She's going to flash. Silence, there's a slow. Wicked going to get knocked back a little bit. All right. They burned her flash. They can come back in the next, like, 4 minutes. And if they get before 8:30, they're going to get her. So let's see what they do.
Oh, I don't think Big Fat saw Nocturne. He is right there. He's going to get the fear on him. He does not have it. He does have flash, but I don't think he's going to be using it. Going to have to use it right over that blue wall. Gragas is there to also help, and a great pillar by St. Vicious to make them back off of the situation. Wow, he just snuck into that bush. Like, it could not have been any closer.
Yeah, that was close. So nice job there. Good aggression there from Stipe at level 4. Pretty much tied with Saint. He's going to hit 4 pretty much off of these jungle monsters right here. As he finishes off, goes towards the Wraiths. He'll hit that pretty soon. But Stipe going to be wearing red. He's 4.5 almost. Once he hits 6, you're going to see some pain come out there. He definitely wants to out-level bottom lane. He wants to get in there before these guys hit 6, before Soraka gets Wish, so that he can actually exert his presence there. And Hotshot doing a great job against the lane. Look at that, forcing Wicked to the turret already. He might be able to be okay here. We'll see how this pans out. But he's going to take some damage on his turret because of this. This is going to be a little bit scary. Using Q, very smart play by Wicked. He's just crushing these minions down. In the meantime, using his Q, just doing a great job of preserving this turret.
They know that Saint is going for his red right now. Looks like they can't really do any movement. They also just saw Soraka place that blue ward down at the bottom by Tribush. You can see the pings going on all around. Everybody always communicating because it's imperative in League of Legends. If you're not communicating, you miss something, your lane is gone. These guys are always talking to each other. Let them know what's going on. Always keeping the communication up. You can actually hear them if you're actually back there watching the players on the side. And it's actually pretty intense. These guys are just staring at the screen, trying to do everything they can perfectly. Cameras in their face, but that's why they're here doing it at this caliber of play to represent their teams. North America for CLG, and here SK still in it for the European teams, along with Fnatic.
Yeah, indeed. And Fnatic, of course, one of the teams to go through already into the grand finals. The winner of this series will face them for the first place. Here, the loser going to fight Cypher for third. And the game is still close. It's 1,000 gold separates these teams. Not a big deal there. The farm pretty much equivalent on all sides. 38 versus 46, actually. Wow, Wicked actually outlast hitting by quite a bit, although that's because Hotshot's gone back to base once. So once the recall comes in from Wicked, you're going to see that equalize out a little bit. And Nocturne coming around the side, not quite level 6. Ward comes down, and Gragas says, hey, let's do this. I'm a cashew. We should probably kill this guy. Stupid, though, milling about. He might try to invade. Ward goes down because Blue F should be spawning in about 7 minutes, and St. Mitch is going to find him. And this is going to be very, very dangerous. Stupa running away as he sees him come in. The pillar goes down. A great pillar there, slowing him down significantly. But Big Fat will not quite stop him in time. Stupa trying to steal with a Q, will not be able to do so. Does fine right there. Gragas still pushing around against Big Fat, scaring him a little. Body Sam will take those minions down. Nice play there. And Stupa gets 6 because of the ambient experience there. And they're going down towards bottom. You can see the pings go off. Ocelot wants to take that away. St. Mitch is getting shoved out of the jungle. He is still preventing him from hitting level 6. And that could be a big deal because Soraka is actually not in bottom lane, and Nocturne's still going.
Wow, they're doing a very good job of just blowing cooldowns right now. St. Vicious getting Big Fat out of lane there as well. They're out of lane and they're not gaining the XP they should, but they're really stopping St. Vicious's jungle. It hasn't even been touched. Snoopy has been going around doing whatever he wants. He has all the buffs that he needs. St. Vicious is really sporting his buffs, but here we go again. It looks like Snoopy wants to invade once more.
Yeah, well, he knows the blue is up, and we see Cho, and yeah, there's Gragas kind of sealing off. And yeah, CLG knows. Saint runs away.
A little soon on that movement from Ocelot. They could have played that a little bit better. The Nocturne ulti comes up. That will shut down the vision, but they lose all vision of what's going on. Aurelia being chased towards the blue. Wicked trying to get out of this one. Hotshot will back off after the roar. Silencing, but it looks like they're going to gather here and still try to go for the blue. Very much so in the face and aggressive on CLG. They try to get the fear off on Hotshot. He's not too worried about this. He knows he can take a bit of damage. He has Cho'Gath. He is not going to try to blow his flash. Very well played there by Hotshot to stay calm, but SK has way too much control for 8 minutes into the game over the jungle of CLG.
Yeah, they even set Nif over, and wow, they forced St. Vicious to flash away as they did land a Turk. So he's going to try to go for the steal, and he gets it! Nice job by St. Vicious, stealing the blue back for his team. Great play by him. Burned his flash for the initial aggression, but great play there. Snoop, I guess, just missed smiting. His smite was up off a cooldown. They didn't expect him to come in and steal it quite that well. Excellent play there. Meanwhile, Veda, the 1v2, going to be a little afraid of Caitlyn. You can see that turret damage actually quite nice. And Vayne trying to last hit as best she can. Actually doing just enough damage to last hit over this turret. And doing an excellent job here.
Yeah,
Wow,
they were able
nice
to poke really nicely. What CLG was doing in the bottom lane, Chauster was focusing all of his shots onto Nif. If Nif has to back up, you know, so does Candy Panda. So that's a really good way to do it. If they're shooting Candy Panda, she can kind of just stay in the front and Nif will throw heals out of the bush. But Chauster doing a very good job of keeping Nif out of that lane. Candy Panda's forced to hug the turret.
Yeah, he does last hit well, but of course he lost some turret health because of that. You see it's down to half HP already. Great play by CLG, pressuring that turret down. And of course theirs is pretty much immaculate. They just continuing on to these wolves, and he's pretty much catching up. He's 6.5. Nocturne actually behind now in experience. All those antics managed to not get them too much out of this. Savage doing a great job getting back into this game. The aggression was well warranted, but it just did not quite get them the advantages they wanted. The wards and the brush here. CLG controlling their side of the jungle here. Saint going to be the first one to 7 of the junglers after the golems.
Saint just continuing to clear the jungle. Same thing in the hands of Snoop A. The jungler's in laning phase is pretty much what's happening right now. There was quite a bit of fighting early on there. Both teams kind of slowed it down. They've gotten back to the lanes. You can see everybody's in their respective. The ADs and supports bottom, mages mid, and your tanks are top. A little bruiser action there. And, not too much. It looks like CLG is actually going to go for a buy bottom, or they're just waiting for this creep wave to push up. I'm going to check out what Chauster is sporting here. He does have a BF sword, and he also has another 300 gold in hand, so he just, bought that pretty recently, actually. It's about 18, 19 gold per minion, so you can do the math there. So they haven't been in lane too much longer, or too long since then. But he does have a ward as well. Very nice. I'm going to look at that. Wards, 3 wards around the map. Cho'Gath, Hotshot has one, Chauster and Soraka. And there's only about 2 on the other side, so both teams complementing wards as well. You can't just leave it up to one person.
And that's definitely the right call there. Hotshot still doing a lot of aggression against Wicked, doing some good pain to him, but he's sustaining so well. Maxing He10 style, points in E as well for the crowd control. Hotshot, of course, getting nice and healthy, and aggression again from Wicked. Takes a turret shot for it, but probably the right choice. They're getting some good damage output. Hotshot's still trying to sustain. Does have a Heart of Gold. Looks like Philostone might be next. Dodge Boots in there, and Nocturne coming around the backside. The lane is still pushed, so they're not going to see him come in there. They could burst Hotshot. His Feast has been used. It's 4 stacked. He's got 1,500 health. No, sorry, 1,400 health. A good start to this. Ocelot will whiff the body slam over the wall. Nice try.
I think we're going to see a flash from Hotshot if this comes out. Snoop not liking the situation. He says, you know what, I'm going to blue pill. If he walks out, I'll stop it, and I'll come out with my ulti. But it looks like he will be out of that situation. We did have Saint come up in middle. Very nice wards. Keeps Ocelot safe and sound. He's just going to be able to run around there. He just body slams right into Saint. He doesn't worry about it. Bottom lane being pretty aggressive on the Vayne and Taric side. They're starting to push this wave into the turret of CLG. And it is 87 to 100.
Saint is actually getting crushed right now by Ocelot. Sorry, I got to interrupt you in the middle of the fight. Saint is going to drop down. Nice by Ocelot. Bursts him down with the ultimate, pushes him back across the wave, and then the damage output from just him alone takes down Saint Vicious from full health. He even popped the ultimate, and it was not enough. Did not steal enough damage there, and Ocelot now drinking from that cask and really going to crush down onto this turret. Takes some minions down, doing a good stuff there. Has the red buff, which is awesome. Again, bursting these minions with his spells and going to take down this turret by himself. Great job by Ocelot. SK in the lead as Big Fat LP comes by to stop him. Actually, the burst damage is pretty good, but he's got minions. And yeah, Big Fat's going to have to pull back right now. But here come 3 towards the bottom. By the way, they took Dragon at the same time. They jumped out of Chauster. Not looking happy for him. They've hit a lot of these shots here. Now getting pushed to the turret. Wish comes out. Still not dying. They're going to pick up 1. Now Elements. Got to be afraid. Oh, Nip. Wow, they live with everyone. They picked up all those kills. Candy Panda getting credit on both. He's now 3-0 on the game.
Oh, Ocelot getting stuck. He gets caught a little too far behind, but it looks like they won't even try to attack him, even with 50% health. Just too much SK power on that bottom lane right now.
Yeah, it's looking so good for them right now. Hotshot still farming against Wicked. Wicked doing a pretty good job last hitting, of course. See what else they can do here.
Oh, the fear onto Saint. A 4-person tower dive. Snoop taking a lot of damage and a quick Cask from Ocelot takes him out. Nice job by Big Fat coming into the queue. He might be able to do something here with the minion wave, but he's got to get close enough to hit them and not take too much damage himself. They're just going straight for the turret. Looks like Ocelot's going to go down here. All he needs is another Q. No, he cannot get it out. He gets stunned, dazzled up, and almost condemned against the wall. If Candy Panda had enough mana, that would have been huge for them. And it looks like they pursue, oddly enough. Big Fat could go down. He is forced to flash out. A critical hit from Vayne on that third strike. Very nice. It looks like they could turn around and do the same thing to Chowster. Her health just absolutely diminishing. Another kill as they come back into the fight. Another dive and another kill for SK. Amazing gameplay. They have gotten over 6 kills in the bottom lane in the past 2 minutes.
That was phenomenal play by them. They picked just bodies littered everywhere. And that's 3 dead CLG members right there. Same 3 from last time. And they are just doing so great right now. Up 7,000 gold from those kills. You see a 5-0 Vayne at 14 minutes. Yeah, it's going to hurt.
Whew.
Picks up Zerk Greaves. Has a Black Cleaver already. That's just really,
That
really
is just the way you want a game to go for you. First blood, your team gets 4 flat-out assists, and you're 5-2 at 14 minutes into the game.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
Or 5-0-2. The 2s
go.
are assists, not even deaths.
That's indeed. Okay, but she looks like she's going for a phage. Next item has the health crystal and the longsword. Wicked still last thing at his turret while harassing Hotshot. Really good play by him. And he's going to pick up, one more minion there. He pretty well has that phage. Hotshot, though, doing a pretty good job. 115 minions. Slightly behind Wicked, but not by much. Of course, no deaths as well. And will turn into a big tanky ball. Has 2 gold per 10 items as well, so he's going to get really, really scary before too long. And it's going to be a pretty big deal. We see Candy Panda maybe not spotted as he goes around the backside. Hotshot in the brush. I don't think he knows. He wouldn't be this aggressive if he knew. They're pinging. They're saying go. See if they're going to do anything. The stun comes off. He's going to try to push him in the wall.
Oh, what a flash.
And a nice flash. Wow. Good by Hotshot. Does not get pinned into the wall. Great play
that
there.
condemn was in mid-air when he flashed. That was awesome.
Excellent play there.
Looks like Tarek milling about. Nif is going to enter into the river. There it is, putting down some wards there. That's going to be a mid to late game Baron ward. It's only going to last for 3 minutes, so I guess I can't say late game. But that is the positioning of that to counter anything coming out of mid, as well as anybody facing a attack at Baron. Nice job, Ocelot, taking out one down bottom. Missed that one. It happened so fast. See, when they get to this point
Solo
and they
Caitlyn,
they do so much damage, you don't even know that they're fighting until somebody's dead. And very nice job there, clearing out the wave. He's going to be able to push bottom for himself, stopping a lot of damage on that turret. And that's usually, isn't that the thing that happens? You see bottom turret for SK's side, they got it down to half health, and then that one turnaround in the lane causes you to lose your turret, a lot of deaths, and that turret won't go down for probably some time now.
Yeah, absolutely the case. It's still staying at half health. And Aurelia coming in, again fighting Hotshot. Will not get ruptured. The silence is good. Nif coming by, though. I mean, they could push for this. They will choose not to. He's got those dodge boots still. He's got a lot of armor as well. 134 armor, 45 magic resist. Big, beefy guy right now. See what they can do with this. They're still milling about. Wicked just crushing minions down. Uh-oh, there's a Gragas. He has found St. Vicious. Actually, St. Vicious is scaring him a little bit. Cassidy coming by as well, and he's waiting on the other side, and yep, he finds them. They're going to flash over and try to go for this, but Candy Panda is nearby, and he's going to say, nope. Nothing done. But there's Nocturne. They're going to push onto this turret. 3v1, Hotshot will run away, knows his turret is in bad shape. It will fall, and they will not really chase him, so Hotshot going to stay up, top lane, 6 stacks, going to keep the farm going.
This is really good for Hotshot. He does have most of his build. He's not as tanky as he would like to be. He does have his Ninja Tabi. That's really going to help him out, especially since we said Tarek is fueling the 3 ADs on the other team. We have Snoopy, Wicked, and as well as Vayne. So he will be able to dodge as much as possible with those boots and giving him a little armor. We're just going to see Hotshot really being the one to take all the damage in the next fight. But he does what he does best, and right now he's going to stay top and farm. The team doing what they can to hold off here as he does that, because he will be something they can use later in the game. It seems like he may be hurting them by staying up there, but as long as they play safe right now, he is going to be a huge advantage for them come 30 minutes.
And we've seen this time and again from CLG where, you know, they start losing early game, but he just gets so farmed it doesn't matter. And you can see, 140 minions. I mean, Wicked's doing a great job of getting his minion kills as well, despite roaming about. But you can see, he's only got the 1 assist. He's only been part of that first blood kill. Wicked hasn't really jumped in for the team fights either. And so right now, it's just been SK winning 4v4s. But the 5v5 could be a very, very different story as long as they do a good job here. Big Fat always going to be able to assassinate in bigger fights. Having an actual tank here, you can see St. Vicious. We've talked about this with the Bruiser junglers. If they don't get ahead, they get crushed pretty hard. Those melee DPS champions need that item and level advantage, and he's actually out-leveling Snoopeh, so you know, he might be in good shape pretty soon. Of course, he can steal those stats from any one of those tanks. Nif, of course, wearing a ton of bonus armor because he is Tarek, and so you can get a pretty big steal as Trundle. They're going to move in. Candy Panda going to full aggro there. Nif will ult. They're just going to push this one down pretty safely. Tumble goes in there, and yep, the damage output is going to be strong. That will be a second or third Dragon kill of the game for SK.
Very nice.
Not even challenged.
Wicked heading back up top to clear that farm out. Hotshot milling about with his team now. They do see that they were a dragon. They may have to back after this. They're going to go for a quick Baron here. They're really only going to be pinched by 3 people. Nocturne, no chance to get to the fight, and Gragas is going to be quite late. They only have it about 75% health. The damage is not what they're looking for. Do believe we're going to have to see. Saint does have that Wriggles. It's just not getting enough procs off. Barrel Scream onto Candy Panda. It's the ulti from Caitlyn. Candy Panda falls. The Legend being taken down. That's a good amount of money that Ocelot picks up on that one. The Nocturne ulti coming out, and it's going to be able to take down Hotshot. Doing what he can in the fight. Like we said, this 5v5 could go in favor of CLG, but they are not in a good spot, not next to a turret, and they have 4 full health members of NIP, SK closing down on them. Wicked to come out with the ulti there. They have dropped St. Vicious down. Great job by Gragas, and they're going to come up with 2 kills to their 1 on that. They were able to turn that around in their favor. A lot of line of sight being broken gave them an advantage in that fight.
Yeah, and that was excellent play, of course. They did manage to isolate onto Candy Panda, and an excellent rupture was landed by Hotshot. It gave them that kill for free, but unfortunately, the team fired back onto him. And you can see, you know, even though he's got a decent item stack, he is, of course, a corpse right now. But he's got Elisa's Miracle. He's got that Glacial Shroud as well. I have to believe he didn't quite buy before that happened, and so you kind of saw him in a state where he was actually killable and not quite the you know, giant meat wall Cho'Gath. You're going to see as these fights go on, that same kill will happen on Candy Panda. Yeah, he'll get a little bit more durable. You can see he's got that phage right now. He's building up another damage item, though, and not going for more durability. So that same burst combo is going to work every time. And you're going to see that happen. And then this time, it won't be Hotshot getting caught out. So you know, even though you keep seeing these battles go in the way of SK, I really think you're going to see CLG mount a comeback. They've always done it. They're probably going to do it here again.
Yeah,
and,
there's going to be
one
really big thing that needs to happen at this point, and they're going to be, they can't really stop getting the kills that they're getting, but if Chowster keeps staying 0-3 and 0, he is not going to be able to do enough damage. We are going to see that Big Fat's going to be able to come out, use a lot of Kassadin cooldowns. He does have blue buff, but to have that 80 carry be farmed up and always attacking, that's not a cooldown, that's your attack, and you need that in the fight. And we saw Chowster was not doing enough damage last time, and if he cannot start getting those kills in his favor, and it's only going to be Big Fat getting 2-1, that's not going to be good for CLG.
Yeah, absolutely true. And, you know, Chowster's getting those stacks up finally. It's going to be a little bit better for him. SK, though, kind of harassing around near Baron. That could be actually scary. They could force CLG into a fight they don't want. They could jumping out on the Big Fat, but he can actually get crushed right here. They're jumping Ocelot right now. He's getting very, very low. He's going to body slam away. That Big Fat getting chased down. Element's not in good shape. Going to get owned against that wall. And here comes Snoopeh in there as well. Lands the Q on both of them. And he really wants to go for this. He puts the wall up. Oh, Big Fat, you're so low. What a great Q from Hotshot's going to push them back. Leave them alive for now, but it's 5v4. Nif will ult Wicked in the front. Q doesn't land on much, and they're still pushing through. Vayne going to do a lot of damage here. Hotshot has been stunned. Saint getting low as well. And they're going to pull back for now. Gragas, oh, the ultimate! Almost takes down Saint. And they're going to get the counterattack back. Nice job there picking that one up. And now Nif and Wicked in front, but Hotshot again is a big freaking tank, and he took no damage from that.
It's exactly what he's been waiting for. They are going to push on to this one. That 5-person fight is what they needed. Both nice roll by Candy Panda and dodge by Wicked there. Being slowed, though. Will she be able to get out? The more people are around, the less CC she will be. She will be able to get out of that quite quickly.
Yep, and with the Merc Treads as well, she's going to have very low slow and stun timers. But Kassadin, almost finds Nif. Candy Panda actually was burstable at that point. But he was far enough away that we're not able to burst down Vayne.
Oh, wow. They like this situation, though. They don't... SK has pretty low health here.
Yep, but again, they want to have Hotshot tank and just fight a 5v4. They need to pull SK into this, and they're going to do so. It is losing health rather quickly, actually. They're doing a much better job than last time. And they're going to push us in because they're going to get it low enough before Gragas shows. The Q does land on Nif, and they're going to go on this. Nif's been silenced. They've jumped in. He's taking so much damage. They will kill Nif. Hotshot in the front. Candy Panda is low. One's going to fall back there, and they're still fighting, though. Looks like Wicked in the back. Element's getting low. Candy Panda will trade with Chowster. Chowster's alive, but he's been dropped down by Wicked. But they're still...
full health Ocelot. Oh, no.
Good CCs from Hotshot, though. Have stopped that for now. Wicked is still very, very low. Snoopeh very low as well, but St. Vicious... Oh, the barrels. The barrels roll out, and Ocelot's like, hey guys, I got some ability power. You might need some magic resist.
You know, these fights are kind of telling us a lot, but not much. We're always having a lone wolf that was full health come in at the end and clean up. We really have not seen the initial 5-on-5 that we want to see here.
Yeah, but I think that's in CLG's favor there. I think the 5v5 fights, just because of the gold advantage, so good for SK, but CLG's doing a good job of capitalizing on mistakes. They have the ability to initiate from so far away. They have the Trundle Pillar over 600 range. Kassadin can basically jump forward with Riftwalk and then land that Force Pull slow. The slow from Hotshot as well, that Rupture, about 1,000 range on that one. So they can really catch people unaware when they think they're safe, compared to Tarek, who really only has that stun easily pointed. Everyone else kind of has to jump in from 700 range or less. So CLG can pick apart fights a little bit better than SK can.
Yeah. Great warding by Snoopy coming in. Looks like he's going to creep into this bush. They don't know that he's there, and they didn't hear the war go down. If he just would have stepped... Oh, he is going to step into it. Does he like what he sees? He kind of sees it. He's like, all right, I can deal with this. Playing very cautious. At least the team knows where they are now. He kind of played that role. Wicked getting caught in middle here. Should be able to get out quite easily. Dodges a beautiful Rupture by Hotshot GG. A beautiful dodge, I should say, on the Rupture. And we are going to see them backing off. They see 3 members. Not too much warding. Look at all the vision that SK has right now. All the way from Dragon or Baron down to blue buff, and on the bottom side of the jungle from Wraiths all the way on into that red buff.
Yeah, indeed, and SK again on the Dragon control, doing a great job timing those out. Wicked, of course, able to bait pretty well. He's basically their tank because he's built a nice amount of health, 2,500, has a lot of tenacity. He's going to be hard to CC. And he's doing an excellent job of basically kind of keeping CLG. He's basically playing the Hotshot GG role of like, hey, look at me, chase me around. By the way, you can't kill me. My team's going to take Dragon. Enjoy that.
As they do push. Baron still up. They were not able to finish that fight. And Hotshot's going to be the first one in the bush here. Do they have an Oracle? Yeah, Soraka's going to start seeing these. They're going to start clearing these out. You can see them. Very nice placing one as well. That Baron ward going down to see at least if they come out of their side of the jungle or invading in the other. CV is down. When this CV goes down, they will have pretty good vision, and Tarek is the only one with ward, so if they know where Tarek is, they can do this pretty safely.
Yeah, indeed. We see Nif heading around. Ocelot almost able to catch that, but we see Doctrine coming down, and everyone else. Kassadin will get the blue buff. His slow is not up right now, but they might fight in the jungle. 5v5 is going on.
Feral Scream off. Wicked was going to just jump in the bush there and initiated this fight. They jump right onto Soraka, but Big Fat forced to flash out there. Huge damage. We might see Wicked drop here. The tick, and it will. The true damage from Ignite. Hotshot GG taking out that kill as Ocelot makes quick work of Big Fat GG. We are seeing this chase go on here. Ken Chauster make it out alive. A beautiful pillar to save his team. Saint helps out big there, and we are going to see a 2-for-1. CLG losing 2 on that, and this may be a Baron for SK.
Yeah, Ocelot just getting very, very, very farmed. He has a Death Cap and a Void Staff. His AP stack is quite nice. He got the blue buff there. I think he got the kill credit onto that Kassadin, which is why his blue is fresh. And you can see actually CLG coming in to try to support that. Nif is going to flash forward, gets caught up by Chauster, but might be enough damage because here comes Ocelot. The Q's going to go over the wall. Will not. Trundle a little bit afraid.
Oh no.
Body time comes in. He's gonna buy time, but he's pretty dead. Vayne, by the way, trading up, will get the kill on the Chauster, and he's actually alive. He's life-stealing off of minions. Ocelot, of course, got that kill. Still running away. 50 health, and now life-stealing just barely with those Doran's Blades. Soraka not quite able to get the damage output that he wanted. No points in Star Call. And great estimate there by Candy Panda. Just barely getting those kills.
Yeah, CLG taking hits and losses of people on this one, but if they can get if they could just get the vision of them backing, that is a Baron for them. And wait a minute, Ocelot gets caught. The rift from Big Fat, and it looks like he's going to have to body slam out of that one. He uses his ulti once again. One more Q, and he should be done. Oh, he gets out of that one alive. Awesome job by Wicked coming in and setting up the defensive stun. Amazing job keeping Ocelot alive.
I can't believe that at all. Wow. Yeah, they clear some wards, though. Consolation prize, dead ward.
Wow. Feral Scream just out of range for Hotshot.
That's harsh. That's just harsh. You don't want to see that ever. Well, SK now with some map control. They are clearing wards a little bit. Put new ones down.
Niv trying to grab the one under Baron. Hits Baron right in the face. Takes a few shots for himself. He's going back to do it again. Oh, he got it. Nice. He's going to be able to get it without hitting Baron.
All right. Hotshot still farming up 195 on the minions, but yeah, I mean, Wicked's done a great job of farming, and so, wow, oh, here's one of the problems. Kassadin at 98 minions versus Gragas 204. That lane was actually very, very strong there, and Kassadin does not have the gold to dominate, and that's why he wasn't able to pick off that Gragas so quickly, is his build is Rod of Age's Merc Treads at 30 minutes. Yeah, 100 AP Kassadin's not nearly as scary as 500 AP Gragas.
Yeah, and he grabbed the ability tome. You know the money is low, trying to build with the first right item of the recipe. Sometimes it's just, you know, I want more AP, but we'll see what he has to build out of that. And it looks like they're running with this wave, but it looks like they want to deny buffs. No, they look like Gragas down bottom too. I did not see Ocelot pushing with a giant minion wave here. A little extended. Looks like he could take that. The split push to happen, and this just goes to show you how much control SK has over the entire map right now. You see their side of the map is just purple minions pushing out all the way past the river, and they're doing a fantastic job at keeping that control.
Yep, and they're going to take this turret over very successfully. Nice job there. They're going to push on some more, and let's see what they're going to go for. They're getting ready to push in on this turret even stronger. 5 versus 5 is the case. Let's see if CLG can hold on to this one. Minions go down to Rupture. Vayne going to stay there, poke it out a little bit. 800 damage crits. Chowster almost gets one-shotted. Going to have to recall that one.
Oh, wow. That's not what you want to see. Let's see, SK seems pretty confident. They are making a move towards Baron. I'm going to deny resources, taking the Wolf camp. As we said before, if you're going to play this aggressive against your opponent, you got to stay this aggressive. You're going to start feeding them a lot of minions. Your minions are just pushing into their base, and if you don't stay in your enemy's face, they're going to farm right up, and they're going to be able to come back at you with a big fight. So right now, you can see SK is not giving up on these lanes. Also, Candy Panda going bottom. There's the split push. Very nice. All of the members of CLG are top, and they're going to have to back and go to the other side here. So you can just see the mind games that SK is allowed to play right now.
I'm surprised he used Vayne to split push, because Vayne is like their biggest Baron threat. And you figure, oh, you know, send like...
That's
maybe,
true.
Maybe not Gragas, they need him to team fight, but like... I don't know, Aurelia? That seems a decent one. I mean, Wicked loves 1v1ing everyone anyway. You send Aurelia solo bottom, you kind of have the rest of the team sit near Baron, because, oh look, you know, 4 from SK are left alone. They're going to get a turret out of it. That's still a good advantage to build, of course. Turret's not exactly a bad thing to kill, but they are a huge, huge Baron threat, and that's going to almost secure them the game at that point if they get it. They're up 50% on CLG's gold, 3,200 or 32K to 48K. Very dominant SK lineup here. This is looking to slip through CLG's fingers right now. SK trying to push through.
Oh, getting the stun on. Wicked just trying to pressure in and draw out a few more attacks. SK doing so amazing right now. 31 minutes into the game, they have yet to drop a tower to CLG.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's bad. They lost 6 kills at least.
Here we go. Through. Yep, they're going to pressure this bottom one. A nice rupture there. Feral Scream. Easy way to clear out minion waves for Cho'Gath. It looks like they just see they can right now do whatever they want. They have the entire front ring of the base to run around, and they do have top they can push. It has a nice minion wave. Mid, not really so much. They are going to farm this out, though, and continue to stay in the face of CLG and not let them farm the creeps coming in. Don't know what they're going to do at this point. Once they get enough vision from these creeps, it could definitely be a Baron move. You don't want to be able to do it when the other team can come at you. So they definitely want an inhibitor here. Go for the Baron and make that final push if they can.
Yep, they're valiantly defending this turret as best they can, but Nocturne was pushing mid, did a little bit of damage to that inhibitor turret. And Panda is going to walk in, do a couple of shots here, but of course that turret, no minions to shoot at, is going to hit him for free. Dave with 200 armor could tank the turret a little bit if he wanted to. Actually, only 130. Wow. Actually lower armor than I thought, but Shirley's in there. A lot of gold pretends. They're going to push back in again. Those Caitlyn traps going to be really good for CLG. Nocturne's still in mid. Rupture comes off from Cho. Does land on Wicked's face. Slow ends. There's the barrel again. Chowster just keeps losing all his health when that happens.
Yeah, it's something he needs to dodge. Always down to about 150 health. Wow. That is not something you want to have happen. One ability should not be able to take you out, but we just see Ocelot so farm. 235 creeps. He has 1, 2, 3 off the highest. Somehow Hotshot has the most creeps in the game right now. Staying top lane, that's what it'll do for him. And you see, he is becoming what his team needs right now. He can always get into the fight for his team. They are thwarting Barons. They stopped SK from getting a Baron twice already, which is huge, because even though that you're just stopping them with 3 people and they can fight you, that's a very big buff that's going to assist them for the next 3 to 4 minutes, and they're going to be able to push through your entire base. So just stopping Baron for them was really big.
Yeah, absolutely true. And you're going to see Candy Panda mill back over towards mid. Has a Trinity Force in that build as well. And, you know, more Trinity Forces the merrier. Seems to be a good item to get. And he's actually building towards, got the Negatron Cloak, and there's the Banshee's Veil grab. So Candy Panda finishing a decent percentage of his items now. 221 AD, a lot of attack speed, and some pretty good durability. 2,500 health and 80 MR is quite nice here. CLG moving back up towards the minions. They do want to get some farm here. They've actually been able to completely defend their turrets despite the disadvantage. And of course, the longer the game goes on, the less 20,000 gold means. So if they spin this game out for another half hour or 10 minutes even, they're going to have a much better shot of winning this game.
Looks like they're gathering in mid here. Were able to get a ward, which is really nice. They were able to get a ward onto Baron. They can kind of hang out in their base now. Really what they want to do is protect those turrets. So you'll see them in their jungle very minimally because they don't want to get caught off guard. And oh wow, Nif taking out that ward. They're now actually pushing up towards middle here. Hotshot has, I believe, drinking every elixir that you can. No, yeah, he did. And he's going to be taking mid-turret. They finally get 150 global gold to themselves. Wow, Wicked jumping in. Nocturne with the ulti. Element's taking so much damage, and he will fall. Wicked being pushed out of the fight here. There are 3 members onto Chowster. They want to take down the AD carry, and there it is. Baron not necessary for this fight. And it looks like the 5v5 will happen 34 minutes into the game. SK coming out on top huge with that fight. The team ace on to CLG and possibly moving on without any creeps to take this game out of their hands.
Yep, Steven going to lead up in front, has a lot of armor, doing well, pushing down this turret. Turret's at half health, still falling. Of course, that turret's hitting him kind of hard, but he's probably going to survive it. That's going to fall. Minions are in the back, coming in about 10 seconds. And him going to fall, and they're going to push through again. Elements is up right now. He might be able to 1v5. That level 1 Star Call, actually, I don't think he's even learned it yet. Yes, level 1 Star Call. Probably going to survive against SK. We're going to try. Nif will pop his ultimate. He's taking some damage from this turret, but he's probably going to survive it. No, he's going to walk back out of range. There's the Irelia ultimate pushing down.
Wow.
Most of CLG are respawning, but that is the game. SK 2-0ing CLG going into the finals against Fnatic. We have 2 European finalists, and CLG forced to fight Cypher for 3rd place.
Indeed.
IEM New York happening right now.
Wow. Amazing matches. CLG not, living up to what we usually say they do. That's not their fault, obviously. It's what we said it, and it's usually that they come back in those next few games, and they were playing very well. I believe, Cho'Gath was shut down a little bit too much in that early game. He was taking a lot of damage. Hotshot did have one of the highest farms in the game, only by 4, because Ocelot, I believe, killed a few minions with his barrel at the end of the game. So both of those really tanky. What you pointed out, Big Fat GG at 98. What a rough mid lane for him to go against.
Yeah, that's definitely really harsh. I mean, only 107 at the very end there. I mean, out CS by his jungler, the enemy jungler, and that's really not what you want as a solo mid. When they first pick that cast and say, this is going to sort of define our play style. It's going to determine how this game goes. This is what we want first, to deny it from the enemy team and to do well here. Well, if you want to deny the enemy team, Ocelot played an amazing Gragas. So you're not doing a lot of pain to SK there. And as the lane wore on, I said, Gragas probably going to be a good lane there. Those barrels, the body slam, really good at denying melee. And it really was the case. Big Fat GG just did not have the gold income. Only 6,500 gold. I mean, Nif had more gold than him. The support on the other team. And that's just kind of harsh, honestly. That's not where you want to be. And he was not the factor that his team needed for this game.
Yeah, well, look what else we had here. We did have level 10s. We didn't really finish till late game, but yeah, Ocelot and Candy Panda, both 18. Wicked almost hitting that, and the average score is probably about 15 or 16 for the other team. They're doing a really good job of keeping themselves in lane. Hotshot had to back a lot up top while Wicked stayed in lane. Hotshot was able to, I believe, reach 6 first, but he really wasn't too much of a help for his team being up there, as they kind of didn't have that composition to fight with the 4 that they wanted to. Chowster, again, not getting enough early kills. Still farming quite well, almost reaching 200 on the game. But a lot of those kills that went to Kassadin or went to Hotshot in those fights that everybody was there, they really need to go to Chowster. I mean, you can't really make that happen and say, okay, shoot him for the last shot. But you want to facilitate that to be able to happen and make sure your Q is going to kill steal, if you will, because it's really going to help. They need to have Chowster farm. He only got what maybe a kill could have given 180 plus a few assists of 90 to 70 gold. That's really not a lot of extra gold that he received from the game. Yeah,
absolutely. So we are going to have SK come up here for an interview from their win. We're going to see what they think about their finals against Fnatic. These teams, no strangers to competition against each other. And we're going to have that. I think we're going to take a quick bumper break, and we're going to get them in there. And we're going to have an interview with SK.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, what's up? Yep, tell the fans who you are.
I'm Wicked. I'm the Irelia player of both games. They let me my favorite champion.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, did you think they were going to ban him out? Ban her out, I should say.
No, they told me they don't care about Irelia, and it wasn't like I was not the deciding factor, so.
Oh, you weren't the deciding factor?
No, I was not.
So you made that a point to be a deciding factor?
Well, basically, the second game, my team just owned bottom and middle so hard, and I was just equal top, so nothing special.
How did you feel when Hotshot changed up? How did you feel going more against the Cho'Gath, the Nidalee? Which one was actually harder for you?
I was a bit scared of his Nidalee because I haven't played against it for so long.
All right.
I was like, Irelia is good against it. I played against him before, but I have no clue if it's still good.
Right on. How did you guys feel coming into the matches today? Seeing all the matches over the weekend, the environment, how did that all play into your emotions?
We all felt really good, and we really love playing, and we really love all the fans and playing in front of them. It's really a lot cooler.
Right on. So, coming in with these games, you had Ocelot playing absolutely huge. Did you guys expect him to come up for you guys like that?
Ocelot played so good. He ganked, killed everywhere. It was really amazing. We didn't expect anyone to play exceptional, but it happened.
How do you guys feel about Fnatic? If you faced them before, obviously, but is that regular play for you guys? Is that your scrims?
We haven't played against Fnatic for around 3 weeks, so we don't really know them. No one knew them in this tournament, and they're doing really good.
Yeah, have you guys been keeping an eye on their games?
We have been keeping an eye on their games, and they have done the same.
Right on. So you guys feeling good? What are you going to do tonight to celebrate? Get ready for tomorrow? Obviously not too much celebration.
Yeah, we're not going to celebrate too much, but I think we're going to go out and drink.
Awesome, guys. Myself, Rivington III, here with Wicked. We may have an interview with the others with CLG if they are going to be up here in time. I know they're discussing and milling about, but thank you very much, guys. Congratulations. We'll see you tomorrow in the finals. Be sure to stay tuned for more StarCraft and whatnot coming from IEM here in Comic-Con at New York City. Enjoy, and we'll be right back after this.
The fourth stop of Season 6 of the Intel Extreme Masters will take place in one of the world's most advanced gaming centers, the Cybersport Arena in Kiev, Ukraine. It will be the first global challenge of the new year 2012, and it'll take place between January 19th till the 22nd. You can expect the best gamers in the world to face off head-to-head in our 3 disciplines: Counter-Strike 1.6, StarCraft 2, and of course League of Legends. Make sure you join us live in Kiev at the Cybersport Arena or here live on esl-tv.
I told you we'd be right back, and Rivington III, am joined here with the Hotshot GG. George joining me here on stage in the caster's booth. Give me the rundown, man. You guys came out really strong in a lot of the early parts of the games. It seemed from mid to late, you weren't really doing anything wrong, but the team fights were just going in their favor.
Yeah, well, first game, there was a little bit of a problem. Kassadin is a really, really snowbally champ, and Morgana just doesn't do as much as him in terms of roaming. So
right.
Once Kassadin started snowballing because of 1 kill, it was really bad, and we had just 1 bad team fight, and that was it.
Yeah, sometimes it does come down to that, and it puts you back 5-10 minutes, and if you can't start to redo that, it really starts to hurt. Coming into the second game, Saint got caught off guard down in the bottom bush. How did that play out for you guys?
That really that also snowballed the game, and I don't know. Saint thought he could just run away, but he didn't use his flash, and they got him.
So he actually thought he could get out of that situation.
Yeah, without using flash, but
he kind of got dazzled up.
Yeah,
that Tarek was for the leader in that one. Nif really made that charge. They were in Tribush quite early. So if something happens like that, what advice can you give to people that play League of Legends to counteract that? Because we saw that he actually switched where he was starting in the jungle too.
Well, definitely when it comes to level 1 fights and you see multiple people and they're semi in range of you, like they can flash you, you just burn flash anyways. It's better to be safe than sorry.
Right, and that's really early in the game. In the next 3 minutes, you're probably going to have flash up as well, and that's really when the jungler is going to be coming out anyway. So yeah, it does sound quite safe. Is the main point you guys think you faltered at, or what can be changed for the next tournament?
We had a lot of problems this tournament and this game, so I don't know really where we need to start from, but I think we need to have maybe like a change up in lanes, because our lanes haven't been dominating that well recently. So maybe some role switches in the future.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Has that been talked about yet, or something?
It's been talked about, played a little bit, but
all right.
We need solid practice with some new features.
Right on. What's next for you guys? What are you looking forward to?
Definitely WCG. WCG is going to be amazing.
Right on.
I can't wait to go to Korea and have some kimchi.
Yeah?
So, yeah.
You love that kimchi.
I love that kimchi.
All right, guys. Hotshot GG and myself, Rivington III, Joe Miller and Freak, bringing you League of Legends today. We will be here tomorrow for your final matches. We're going to have SK versus Fnatic. CLG being knocked out by SK. You guys played amazing in the tournament coming into the semifinals day, and they're looking forward to WCG Korea, so we'll definitely see you there. George, thanks a lot, man.
Thanks, man.
And we're going to be having a lot more games coming up, a little bit of StarCraft, and a few recaps on the day, so stay tuned here, IEM and Comic-Con in New York City.